6 o'clock. Good morning. Live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Nashville Soccer Club news yesterday. Forward Sam Surridge was named to the 2026 MLS All-Star team for the second consecutive season. Nashville leads the MLS with 4 All-Stars. That also includes previously announced first 11 selections: Hani Mukhtar, Andy Nahar, and Brian Schwacke. Major League Baseball news yesterday. Pitcher Justin Verlander announced on Wednesday that he will retire at the end of the 2026 season. The 43-year-old is playing in his 21st MLB season and has a long resume that includes 266 regular season wins, over 3,500 strikeouts, 3 Cy Young Awards, 2 World Series championships, as well as an MVP award. And coming up today, the World Cup quarterfinals begin as France takes on Morocco. It's a rematch of the 2022 World Cup semifinal from Qatar when France beat Morocco 2-0. France is looking for the 3rd consecutive World Cup semifinal appearance. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning on a beautiful Thursday in Nashville, a Friday Junior as it's known here on this show. We are Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045. Our number is a new look Vols defense ready for 9 SEC games against one writer's opinion on a schedule that has 6 of the top 10 quarterbacks of the SEC on it. We'll talk about that this morning. What's the most important stat for Cam Ward in 2026 at year 2 as the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans? We'll dive into that. The draft returns as we're all back for a snake draft this morning in hour number 3. And Easton Freeze will talk Titans with us at 9:20 in hour number 4. We stream the show live for you on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, and Will Bowling on this Thursday, July the 9th. What's happening? Good morning.
Not a lot, man. Good morning, Will, Hawk. Had one of my coaches yesterday, we're on the practice field, said, man, I was listening to you guys, man. I laughed my butt off at the, what's the correct term? RBVs that you guys were talking about. It's like I had the same exact feeling. The vodka, Red Bull vodkas or whatever. He was just like, I had the same feeling. It was, yesterday wasn't that hot. So having conversations about alcohol on the football field wasn't that bad. Will.
Okay,
wasn't
great.
that bad, man.
Love that. One of those right
I'll
now.
say show topics on the football field wasn't that bad. What'd you say, Hawk?
Probably use one of those right now. Need to wake up. Had a rough night last night.
You did. I think it's okay to document a little bit what the slander that Baby T-Hawk is getting on this show.
He did not want to go to bed last night.
It was a fussy night.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what was going on. He just, that was rough. So got him.
Have you looked at his face this morning?
Oh, yeah.
We got him down. It was about 10 o'clock, so we were nice and happy, whatever. Well, he woke up at 11:30.
Oh, that's too soon.
And then he didn't go back to bed until 1:30. And then he woke up at about 2:30 or 3 o'clock, and then wouldn't go back down until after I left.
It's goodness.
I bet he gonna sleep like a champ right now.
Yeah.
I bet he's. So I will say this. I've lived this life. Will, at some point, I'm sure you'll get it or get a new puppy or something, right? But by the way, dogs may be a worse just compromise. No, they are. Because when they're whining on their first night home and it's just nonstop, I never forget Zeus. Zeus was terrible the first night, and it's just nonstop. But I was doing that, Hawk, during football season. So, like, I got frustrated with the whole not sleeping with RJ and just the crying for no particular reason. And there's nothing that you can absolutely do about it. Okay, there's a checklist that has to happen. Bottle.
Yep.
Did he take it?
Well, he's not doing bottles yet, but
so yeah.
He had already eaten.
He had eaten. You changed the diaper?
Yep.
Did you burp him?
Yep. And he had clean clothes on.
And he had clean clothes on.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Exactly. Yeah. There's nothing worse than having a conversation with a wife who's still coming down from all the hormones that goes through all the pregnancy and stuff like that, and just tell her like how frustrated you are because you don't know what to do. And she's like, well, I don't know what to do either. I'm like, not asking for answers. I'm just like, what to do?
Yeah.
Why won't he be quiet?
Because he won. He was in a womb for 9 months, just chilling, no issues whatsoever, and
He's got
removed
so
him.
much to say. He's got so many questions.
He
Literally,
does.
Doesn't know how to
I'd
ask
be
them
walking him around the house. It'd be 2:00 in the morning, and he finally calms down. I'm like, okay,
Will.
he went to sleep. I put him down. Starts crying. I'm like,
Trenches.
gosh darn it.
Guys in the trenches.
Trenches. This was me my senior year. Like, on top of, like, us having a bad season, and we went 5-7 that year, on top of that, having to adjust to having – that's why I tell anybody, push it off as much as you possibly can. The maturity level for somebody having a child at, like, 21, even 22, heck, I couldn't even imagine teens. And I know that happens, and mistakes and babies are a blessing to this world. But it is a culture. It is a life shock, is what I would tell you. All those little cute family photos you see on social media, burn them. Okay.
Oh wow.
If you have no kids,
burn them.
Burn them.
Says.
Okay. Erase them because it's not real.
Erase.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not real when people be taking, oh, look at that little baby. No, Hawk is giving you the reality of having kids right now.
Should I take a photo tonight coming up when he's at his worst?
You
like,
should.
This is what it is in real life.
And, like, blur out your wife's face, but show her, like, probably just dying over the baby for some type of relief, because it is not a real game plan for it.
It all
and
be
I love
worth it
this
about
for you.
7 o'clock.
I told
whenever
you
he's
though.
asleep on my chest, and I'm like, see, this is what you should be doing at 2:00 in the morning.
Wake
This
him
would
up.
be great.
I would say wake him up.
Yeah, well, we're trying to like keep him up to like 8:30, and then like see if we can wake him up by doing a diaper change, get him all like nice and mad, and then like, oh, here's a swing for you. Sit in it.
So do you wake up pretty immediately when he does start crying?
No, I don't know how long he cries for until one of us gets up.
Okay.
To be honest with you,
That's my concern, is how many times I will snooze an alarm or wake up and not know it and then immediately go back to sleep. Like, legitimately, to wake up, when we wake up to do this show, I set about 5 to 6 alarms to wake up every morning.
You.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Like, one alarm and I'm up. Like, I told you, I feel like when we first started, like, I got dad ears now. So any little noise that turn, like, in the house, I'm waking up for
I
it.
am dead to the world when I'm
you
asleep.
really?
Dead to the world.
Yeah. That is a valid question, though. When do you wake up with the child? I know when they get a little bit older, you kind of want them to sleep through the night. So the crying is a part of it. Not now, though, Hawk. You can't force this kid to cry it out.
Right.
No, he needs you every 3 hours. And that's the other part of it as well. They were going to be getting up every 3 hours regardless, because a baby needs to be fed about that much anyhow. So, like, the schedule doesn't ease up until about 5-6 months.
yeah. Well, see, his thing too is like it's not every 3 hours either. He's like. He'll cluster feed, so then next thing you know, he eats at 11 o'clock. Oh, you know what? It's 12:15. I'm going to eat again. It's like, oh, that's what's wrong with you. Okay, cool.
3 dudes talking about raising a baby right now. This has got to be the most confusing
I know nothing about it.
thing ever. No, you had great ideas, though. That question on do you wake up is a valid one, because
I'm just curious.
all I wanted to do was sleep during the 08 football season. There was none of that. RJ was a weller. Do you hear me?
For athletes, how big of a difference does it really make? Like, we make jokes about new dad strength, when in reality, you guys just aren't sleeping at all when you have a kid.
I'm glad you. I'll say this much. I was a young father. Me and my wife were young parents. One is the reality, like shock, just out of this world. And me, like, so she withdrew from school. She did go back and get her degree in finance. She withdrew from school. I'm in it. So, like, every night was a battle, as Hawk is just saying right now. But I would say my focus shifted when I had a kid, though. I legitimately give RJ and Miles both, because Miles came at a time where I was in like a new contract. So like I felt like I had to hustle harder. It gave me that sense of motivation to make it not about me. I'll tell anybody, like, my life became not my life when I had him. And going undrafted fueled it even more. Just an intimate story in general. I, like, with RJ, he was born in September, so we had that whole calendar year going into the draft that year. RJ had open heart surgery as well to Charlottesville Fallot. I'm forever indebted to Vanderbilt. We were on state insurance, Medicaid, or was it Blue Cross Blue Shield at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And the doctors over in the cardiologist department, man, did a phenomenal job on him. No issues whatsoever to this day, okay? So I had that as well. And during the football season, I'm hustling, trying to make it happen, and everything's in turmoil. And I'm trying to focus. At that point, I'll be real with you. I'm like, I got to worry about me. I got to go earn because Keisha and I had a child, and RJ didn't actually come into this world. So my focus got way deeper than I think most did at the time. So when I created this mindset on myself, like, I have to make it right for him.
Sure.
And
Totally.
so that dad strength side of thing really took off. When I left and went to training camp, it wasn't just me fighting for a roster spot. I didn't want to put him behind the 8 ball on life because we were young and dumb and decided to have a child. So yeah, like the dad strength, I guess is what you would call it, becomes your purpose.
That's awesome. That's a really cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because you're getting less sleep, but you have more motivation.
That I couldn't quit. Like, and I tell them that all the time. And the same with Miles. I was like, oh, we're in the NFL now. The next thing you know, like, it's contract year.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like,
100%.
oh, crap. Like, it really it shifts, I would say, your mindset on survival, if that makes sense. And I'm sure your dad was the same way with you and your siblings as well. But that's dad strength to me. It's the same way with a mom.
I love that.
A mom, she'll lift a car because, like, she cares about something more than herself. Like, right now I'm joking about the hating side of it, Hawk, with, hey, like, this payoff will be worth it whenever you start to bond. And, like, that's what kids are. Like, you try to figure them out and they figure you out, and there's a love that goes along with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Just survive in advance right now.
It is.
Survive in advance.
Yeah, you're in training camp.
You're 1 seed being pushed by the 16 at the under 4 timeout right now in the first round of the NCAA tournament. You're not thinking about covering the spread. You're thinking about getting to the round of 32.
Exactly.
Win by 1 point.
Yeah. Survive in advance.
Comment on YouTube from Bruce said, do y'all have a good rocking chair? I said, it's not about the rocking chair. You have
The
to
rocking chair helps, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't like to be sit and rocked. You got to walk him. You got to get up. You got to walk around the house. That's how he goes to sleep. It's not about sitting down and rocking. Literally, you have to get up and walk. I'm like, he'll be crying, and you sit down, and he'll just yell louder. You get up, you start walking. All of a sudden, he's like, oh, okay,
Really?
we're okay now.
That's kind of rare right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I genuinely don't know what to tell you other than good luck. That's it. Will, you got any advice for him?
Nope. I would be the worst possible person.
At least you're not Buck about
Worst
this.
possible person. What do you mean?
Buck, I think, gets allergic to kids. I do.
To no one's surprise in the world.
No surprise at all.
Hates things that are warm and fuzzy and happy. So, yeah, that's fair.
That is very fair.
I mean,
he's about to adopt
too.
another dog, though, too, so.
He doesn't have a dog. He's cats.
No, he's about to get a dog. I've heard him talk about it. Well, he caught a stray over on where he lived at.
Of course he did.
And this dog apparently has a whole Reddit page. I'm not sure if you've heard about it.
Reddit page. Why would a stray dog have a Reddit page?
It's broken out. Like, everybody on his side of town has made a Reddit page about this dog.
Just feeding the dog, just like the community dog everybody hangs out with.
And of course, him making it about himself, he decides to keep the dog. Well, Animal Control did come and get the dog. And I heard him say yesterday, he said, if this dog is deemed adoptable, he's going to keep it.
Okay.
Which is...
I wonder how the cats feel about that.
They're going to hate it. He said his house is going to be chaotic. And I believe it.
I mean, he lives there. It's already chaotic enough. 615-737-1045, our number, live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. Well, this time yesterday, we talked about Chris Lowe's list at on3.com of the top 10 quarterbacks in the SEC. Tennessee is going to see 6 of them this season. Is Jim Knowles' defense ready to see 6 of the top 10 quarterbacks of the SEC? We'll talk about that next. There are 46 new players on the Tennessee football team in 2026. Maybe 45 now without Chaz Coleman. How ready is the Tennessee defense in year one under Jim Knowles to see a loaded slate of quarterbacks? Ramon Foster, Will Boulding, Ramon and Will, stream it live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. According to Chris Lowe of On3 and his ranking, Ramon, Tennessee will see 6 of the top 10 quarterbacks of the conference this upcoming season. Arch Manning, number 2 on his list. Sam Leavitt, number 5 on his list. Lenoris Sellers, who is number 6. Marcel Reed, who is number 7. Byron Brown, who is 8. And Kenny Minchie, who is 10. How confident are you in the Tennessee defense playing better under new leadership this upcoming season and probably against a better schedule than they played last season as well?
The reputation of Jim Knowles gives you some confidence when it comes down to it. Like, can he call it? Yeah. Does he understand the level of play? It's not like this is his first rodeo when it comes down to him playing or calling plays at a Power 4 conference. Like that in itself gives me a little ease. Let's go back real quick and look at this list of quarterbacks. I will say this, Will. In the beginning stages of me really grasping and understanding of what college football entails and why these coaches are going after transfer portal guys, offensively, this is where it becomes a little bit of a problem because I'm looking at Arch Manning, Sam Leavitt, Lenoris Sellers, Marcel Reed, Byron Bonham, and I think Kenny mentioned
Byron Brown.
Byron Brown. God, that's a tongue twister right there. Byron Brown and Kenny Minchie. Kenny Minchie being on this list gives me a little ease. Not because he's going to Kentucky, but because he doesn't have a whole lot of playing experience. He's got a lot of experience as far as being in college, but on field, not a ton. And that's problematic because these guys right here can hold on to the ball and make decisions that you look at Faison and George McIntyre and you say to yourself, like, having a good defense also amounts to having a very good quarterback and offense as well. And if opposing defenses are causing chaos to the Vols offense, then the defense can just erode away. That's the other side of having a good defense, and if those guys can handle it as well. I'm getting to the point of saying I do believe this group should be good enough to be able to handle these guys with this level of experience, and not just that, but the talent. The first 4 guys on this list could potentially end up being first-round draft picks. And Arch Manning, yes. Sam Leavitt in a Lane Kiffin offense, yes. Lenoris Sellers, should. And then when you also have Marcel Reed as well, like those 4 guys in general are 4 first-round quarterbacks.
I think Byron Brown, if he's good enough this upcoming season, is putting himself in some of those conversations. I know it's a goalish system. It's a Heupel-esque system, which is a challenge. But still, I mean, you come in the SEC and light it up, even if it's just for 1 year.
This is true.
People are going to pay attention.
Well, Byron Brown also, he only has the 1 year because 5 for 5 now, right? Yeah, that's true. Oh, so that I don't know if anybody has seen a schedule like this. Now, this is also preseason. We thought Lenoris Sellers was going to end up being a first-round draft pick last year, and he wasn't.
I think 15 other teams are seeing a schedule like this. I mean, this is the new normal.
You think, like, in
the
years
whole conference.
past.
I mean, to be fair, you're still not seeing probably as many incredible quarterbacks as you could. Like, I think it could be worse. But, I mean, this is 9 SEC games. This is the new normal for everyone.
I'm glad you said that the correct way. It could be worse.
Always.
Do I think they can handle it? Yeah. But here's the other side of we don't know. How does the D-line hold up against this rush or the protection of trying to get home to these guys, too? The experience that the Vols have is not as high as I would like it to be. Now, again, new stars are born every year. I'm looking at just the Vols defensive line that's going into 2026, and there's not a ton of experience. Talent is there, but it's also young. And that's problematic when you're trying to control the line of scrimmage in the SEC. I feel better about the corners, linebackers, and the secondary, or safeties, as opposed to what the front line can provide for, even with Rodney Garner as the defensive line coach on this team.
Just to real quick look at some of the other most difficult schedules of the SEC. Arkansas plays Texas, Georgia, LSU, and Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's kind of ugly.
They go to Auburn. They go to Vandy. They play South Carolina, Missouri, Tennessee, and their non-conference is at Utah.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
And plus, Tennessee's non-conference is still Georgia Tech. Good team. Certainly far from a gimme. I mean, a game that's probably going to be within a 4 or 5 point spread either direction by the time that line comes out. And Texas got to play Ohio State.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be worse.
Second. Yeah, Texas get them at home this year, though.
So, defensively, looking at this Tennessee team, where are you most confident in this team, in this defense, being better under Jim Knowles?
Linebacker. I think it's obvious. They have the talent. A good group of these guys have already played. Jaden Perlotti and what's the other Jaden?
Jaden Harmon.
Jaden Harmon. Both have played in some sense. And you also look at Arian Carter being able to come back. Jeremiah Thielen been a part of this group. I think they got the best veteran presence of the entire defense when it comes to experience and understanding.
Well, Amari Campbell is probably the main guy, right?
Yeah.
The Penn State transfer. Jaden Perlotti flashed last season and showed you some good things at linebacker, and he's probably 4th on the depth chart.
Yeah, which is insane.
That's the kind of depth you're looking for everywhere else. I think it is the deepest part of the defense without any question.
And those guys may have to move up to the line of scrimmage as well. You mentioned Jaden Perlotti being deep. Like, he's the type of guy I know that Coach Inge loves because he has to tell him whoa instead of sick him.
That's William Inge, the inside linebackers coach, for those who don't know.
He is, I think he's got the size for it. I think he's got the attitude to rush off the edge. I don't know if he's fully able to convert to an edge rusher, but it being a part of his skill set, I think is there. And I also look at Arian Carter being one of those guys as well that can walk up to the line of scrimmage and get a rush in. And it might have to happen this year more times than we think it should. And it's probably going to end up exposing one or two zones in this defense. But again, I do like the experience that they have or the talent that they have at safety, and also finding out who's going to be on the other side of Ty Redmond too.
Yeah, so if that is the strength of this defense at linebacker, what adjustments can Jim Knowles make to get those guys in the best position to be successful? Is it just playing more 3 linebacker sets and having one of those guys rush the passer at times?
Pretty much.
Is it Arian Carter becoming a part-time edge rusher this season?
Treat him the way Ohio State did with Arvell Reese. Figure out between him and Sonny Styles, like figure out who's going to play off the ball and who you can play up. Who's the better rusher? That's what training camp is for. To give you that answer as to who's going to be the guy, I don't think we either one of us have that in real time. We have to see if it happens. But that type of mindset into saying we have weapons instead of position players, I think plays into the favor of what the Vols' talent is capable of. Now, getting the scheme down, making sure health is a part of it as well. We can't account for that sitting here in July. Mm-hmm. But that's where you start to figure those types of things out. That's why we had Austin Price on a couple of days ago. Like, I got a script with him when it came down to saying, how much will Jim Knowles be able to challenge this hypo offense in training camp? Because if he's able to just deploy whoever he wants to, like, this is where I do like it. The iron sharpens iron side of training camp. Like, this is where that has to happen now, because Coach got to see who can get home. Those 101s, if they're not having them every day, but linebackers or this group of linebackers versus the O-line to work on this pass rushing skill or against the guards and centers, then you're setting yourself up for failure, I feel almost in a sense. It can't just be linebackers on running backs or tight ends. Like, if you're trying to get some help on that front 4, that group, which is very deep, and we've given a little bit of the depth that they have, this is a part of it to me.
How difficult is it to teach an inside linebacker how to play edge?
Nah. It's not as difficult because all of them feel like they got a pass rush in general. The one thing that I've seen linebackers struggle with when it comes down to a pass rush is their pad leverage. They're used to being able to just run in and just run over, bulldoze a running back or tight end.
So are guys too high or too
high?
Too high. Okay.
Too high. It's what they usually do. And once they figure out, okay, I got to play with a little bit more leverage, and also the size difference. You talking about a 310-pound offensive lineman versus a 245-pound, 225-pound linebacker. Mm-hmm. Don't let them touch you if that's the case. Use your speed, quickness, and shiftiness to be able to put you in a position to beat them. Or not every rep has to be a win. it has to be effective, if that makes sense to you as well.
Sure.
So if you have me turning or force the quarterback up in the pocket because you see pressure or speed coming off the edge, that's where you win in those situations. Gerard Mayo was probably, as a young guy, he did it a little bit more. That's how he honestly got more playing time at UT, was he was able to rush off the edge because coming out of high school, he played a little bit of the defensive end, and then he ended up moving to off-ball linebacker.
I think that's going to be the really interesting thing for the Tennessee defense is the way that they get a rush plan together to get after the quarterback. It is, I think, the question about this entire football team to me, and we've spoken about it before, but I'm consistent on this. I think it is of equal, if not more importance than quarterback. Because Josh Heupel's just always going to make it work at quarterback. And I tend to believe that as good as this offense is going to be at offensive line, at just run blocking in general, 4 or 5 starters are back. David Sanders, I think, is ready for a huge leap at left tackle. Deshaun Bishop, Javen Gordon, we've heard good things about. To me, I think the run game and offensive line helps you ask less of your quarterback than you did last season. The question then becomes, how much is your defense helping out your passing game and your quarterback? And last season, Joey Aguilar answered a lot of questions early in the year with his deep ball accuracy, with his ability to throw deep downfield, with his ability to win Tennessee games with his arm. He was a veteran that was ready to meet that moment and meet that high bar at times because the defense kind of forced him to. Can that change a little bit and be a bit closer to 2024 where Nico Imaliava for Tennessee on a playoff team wasn't really asked to do all that much because he had an excellent run game and an excellent defense? Okay, is the run game up to that standard, up to Dylan Sampson level by committee, by offensive line? And in the same sense, how much is the defense asking George McIntyre or Faison Brandon to have to go on drives and have to put up 30, 40 points to win games in the SEC? That's the question. The defense can help your quarterback in the context of what you're asking your quarterback to do. And the question I have about this defense is, how in the world do they get after the passer with really an edge rusher group that, Ramon, is one injury away from totally moving one of these inside linebackers to edge or playing true freshmen who have no on-the-job experience whatsoever?
Yeah.
That is where I look at this team and this depth chart and think, who is going to become a household name? In the interior defensive line, it's pretty obvious. Xavier Gillum, David Hobbs, and Nathan Robinson have experience. Gillum, the Penn State transfer that's getting rave reviews there. Ethan Utley and Isaiah Campbell have a monster season in front of them. Have to step up, have to be consistent. And Tennessee's got to get some kind of interior pass rush to help out the edge rusher group that no longer has Chaz Coleman in it.
Just that group right there, the interior defensive line. Nathan Robinson, I think, had a little bit of an issue with injuries last year.
So did David Hobbs.
And that's why I was going to go. That's where I'm more worried about a guy like Ethan Utley stepping up more because of David. Like, he's year in and year out. Like, he didn't miss the spring again this year with another injury. And you say to yourself, you hope for his sake and his career that this is that, everybody have that one big year in which everything comes together. It would be phenomenal if it was this year for him because, one, professionally, but also he went on the streak last year. I think it was 4 or 5 sacks in a row in games, and he just took over games. Like, you see the 5-star that he is.
100%.
He stayed around.
So talented.
And there's so much left. Like, and I got to add to as well, like Nathan Robinson, I think the world of.
Greenbrier, Tennessee.
Come out of nowhere and pretty much turn into a stud. But the other guys that are in, Xavier Gillum, I'm huge on as well. But Ethan Utley, Isaiah Campbell. I saw Isaiah Campbell this past spring. This joker's huge.
He's another fringe 5-star, high 4-star coming out of the state of North Carolina, too.
If those two guys right there can create a Bash Brothers scenario up the interior, those two young guys, Ethan Utley and Isaiah Campbell, I feel a whole lot better about this group. And I'll be real with you. This is probably my biggest worry. More an edge.
Edge is by far mine on defense. Austin Price told us Tuesday he feels like the secondary has a chance to be the most improved unit on the entire football team.
Yeah.
Ty Redmond got so much better last season. Kagan Lee coming from Auburn on the other side, I think you feel comfortable with. I know Brent Hubbs has written about Quay Moss at nickel and how he has really impressed people, and he was kind of the first guy in to that transfer portal class at the beginning. Trey Poteet, Tim Merritt, Idris Farouk, guys who feel like are getting better. TJ Metcalf and DeJuan Lane at safety have played football in the Big Ten and are, I think, going to be plug-and-play kind of guys. And so then you look at edge, and it's Jordan Norman, the transfer from Tulane, and it's Marion Dye, who's 280 pounds.
Big.
And going from an interior defensive line role to a 4-3 defensive end kind of role. How explosive is he off the edge when it's 3rd down and 8, crowds on their feet? You got to get Texas off the field. There's 3 minutes left, and you're down by 4, and you got to give your offense a chance. Can you get after the quarterback? I don't know the answer to that yet for Tennessee. And so then the question becomes, how much can Jim Knowles really scheme up when this team, if, maybe I say this team because we don't know the answer yet, if this team can't get pressure with 4?
Yeah.
How much more of an island are you putting Ty Redmond on? How much more are you asking of Quay Moss against really good slot receivers in the league? Are you asking a safety to guard a tight end one-on-one because you got to take 6 and blitz because that's the only way you're going to get any kind of pressure on these quarterbacks?
It is. But the other side to me is what we don't know, how they're going to get this rush together, because we heard Austin Price Tuesday again allude to they're going to have bigger edge rushers, clearly, with Marion Dye being on the outside.
They don't have to.
Yeah, and if you're telling me that they're going to set the point, and I do think the interior defensive line is talented enough to get home. I do know Ethan Utley has a pass rush. I do know if David Hobbs can stay healthy, he has a pass rush. We've seen Nathan Robinson as well be able to get up, and Xavier Gillen been a part of this as well. Like, I do think that is there. But it's a matter of, as you said, in the SEC, we're talking about guys who are running 4.5s off the edge that are getting 12 sacks at the University of Texas. Like, I don't know if the Vols have that on their roster. As it stands right now.
They don't.
Yes. Thank you. They do not have that on the roster. So this is where it comes.
Not a 12-sack guy, no.
No, not a 12-sack guy. Here's what I will say. This is where we are looking at the players, and I'm all for that because I believe the players provide a lot. But Jim Knowles is going to have to get into the lab on this one. This is what you're presented with. The guy that you guys brought from Penn State didn't work out. Cool. I'm okay with that. But Josh Heupel, Jim Knowles, the checks that you guys get monthly, this is what this moment is for. Coaches also have to do their jobs and be able to scheme up players and put them in the right position. You can't say, hey, I'm asking you to do this when this doesn't fit the personnel to it. I would say this is what I think got Coach Fulmer fired. Being in a position in which Dave Clawson didn't have the personnel for the offense that he was trying to run at the time. And it was a one and done for him at the University of Tennessee. And Coach Fulmer was done at the end of the 2008 season because he tried to incorporate a scheme that wasn't available to his personnel. And that's why I will say to a guy like Jim Knowles or any coordinator for that matter, this is on you. And you're veteran enough of a type of DC, and I will say this, you're compensated enough. If you can't play, you must call the plays in. And he's got to kind of set these guys up for it. And I feel confident in it, but he can't be out here expecting edge rushers to get 8 to 12 sacks in a season when you don't have the personnel for it. That's my point.
And all with a quarterback on the other side of the football that has no real experience in the SEC.
That you have to cater to that.
In 2024, what happens if that Tennessee offense has the 2025 Tennessee defense? Because we felt okay about Nico that season. Not great, but we felt fine about him because we could bargain with ourselves. And, you weren't really asking him to do much. Just hit some of the open shots, make some plays with your legs, hand it off to Dylan Sampson, and let the defense do its thing. Mm-hmm. Just be conservative. Well, but what if you don't have the luxury of being conservative? What if you are forced to air it out because all of a sudden it's halfway through the second quarter and you're down by 17 points at home to LSU because your defense can't get off the field? I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not predicting it, but again, the success of the quarterback position is also largely predicated on how much better you are on defense. What are you asking that quarterback to do? How good is your run game? How good can you be when you're playing 6-on-6 or even 6-on-7 in the run game against loaded boxes? Can you still scheme up enough? We're going to find out.
That's where I felt last
against
year.
9 SEC opponents.
Tim Banks did not answer that call. I felt like there was always those moments on third down situational football.
The gap integrity was really brutal for Tennessee last year. I mean, really brutal, especially at the end of the season where they just couldn't get off the field on 3rd and 3.
So the conversation that I've heard as well was like those guys didn't actually have calls in those moments. And that's where I'm hoping. And Jim
What do you mean?
knows, like they didn't have calls.
Just vibing, just out there, just
No, seriously.
you take this guy, I'm taking that guy. Like,
and that's why they
what was the
broke
plan?
down.
Did they practice? Like, I don't understand.
And that's
how
the
that's possible.
problem. And that's why I think when you look at that defense, like when you mentioned the guys like James Pierce Jr. and those guys that were able to get home, like you covered up a lot of those things. But those breakdowns that continually happen were for a reason. And those guys expressed that. And that's not okay. And that's where I'm hoping Jim Knowles at least is giving those guys, hey, in this versus that, we have to do this. Or there's a lot that goes into it.
That's why Jim Knowles makes a lot of money.
It is.
That's why Tim Banks made a lot of money.
Just you can't have those breakdowns.
615-737-1045 is our number. A headline that shocked me coming up next yesterday. There is now a new most watched soccer game in U.S. history, and the United States didn't even play in it. Another sign about a growing sport in the United States of America. I could not believe this. I'll tell you what I mean after this.
When you start noticing cracks in the walls, uneven floors, or driveways sinking and separating, it's more than a home issue. It's a peace of mind issue. That's why who you choose for foundation repair and concrete leveling, it really matters. I personally trust United Structural Systems because they've been doing this the right way since 1994 right here in Tennessee. USS doesn't believe in quick fixes or those scare tactics. They take the time to inspect, explain what's going on, and walk you through real proven solutions that are built to last. Whether your home needs foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, or concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses engineered systems that are designed for long-term performance and not those temporary patches just so you can feel better about it. USS right now, they're offering several payment options for you in the month of July to make your foundation repair also affordable for you. You get 10% off if you pay in full, or fix it now, pay later with 18 months, no payment, no interest, or choose 36 months, no interest with low payments options for qualified buyers. Once again, to learn more about USS or to book with them for your foundation repair, head over to USSTN.com.
Wrapping up hour one this morning on Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling at Ramon and Will on Twitter. So there was Monday night. We mentioned yesterday, good news and bad news behind USA-Belgium being the most watched soccer match in the history of American broadcast television. Huge number, over 40 million, more than the average audience of divisional round NFL football in the playoffs last season. The good news was more people are watching the sport. The bad news was that more people watched the U.S. get absolutely smoked. Well, then it comes out yesterday. That's now the second most watched soccer telecast in American broadcast television history. Because England and Mexico on Sunday night had a television audience of 45 million people. 45 million people. So 42 million watched USA-Belgium in round 16. The total figure, this is crazy, 21.7 million people watched on Fox in English. 23 million people were watching on Telemundo and Peacock in Spanish. Mexico and England on Sunday night play a classic game in the Estadio Azteca. By comparison, this is from Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, who writes about this. The AFC and NFC championship games in January averaged 47.4 million viewers.
Wow.
I think there is going to probably be another game that tops all of this. I think there's a world where the World Cup final outrates the NFC and AFC championship games here in about a week and a half.
What does that say? I mean, what does it do? Just shows that soccer's taking a step?
I think it does.
Or like NFL, watch out.
That's too many people for this to just be fleeting interest.
Yeah.
Or something that you check in on and then don't really care that much about. Like, that is a monster number. Monster number. 45 million people.
That's tough. Again, the way I look at it is, are we at a point to where we have to start considering at least the interest level of soccer going up when it has these types of numbers? And that's
because
the
it was
point
already
I wanna
going
get
up.
to. Yeah.
It is now reaching a level that has never been reached in this country, ever.
And this is where, again, in my personal opinion, the pour-in happens. Like, I view this as now wanting to do more Nashville SC or figure out, okay, how can we consume the international game at a rate to where I see Mbappe more? Like, I've heard about what he was capable of, and I've heard about what Messi's capable of, and see him now with Miami, you know? And when you see it on the world stage like this and they're performing with the passion that they also have, it brings you in. And that's the part where I'm like, as Americans, like, we can try to deny this all we want to, but it is on the way.
What I'm curious in, and I know I mentioned this yesterday, who benefits the most? Who benefits the most? I think Major League Soccer, MLS, in the short term is really going to benefit.
Easily.
What I think is interesting about MLS is their switch to a different calendar next season and what that means for the attraction of even better talent here.
What's the calendar moving to?
The calendar is going to go to the rest of the world soccer calendar next fall. So right now, Major League Soccer's season starts at the end of February and goes to Conference Championship weekend in college football. The MLS Championship, MLS Cup, is Conference Championship weekend in college football in a normal season. It will now change to the season starting in August and ending in May, essentially being a school year.
Yeah.
That is what the rest of the world does in soccer. So this season is the last season of the current format. There will be a sprint season, as they're calling it, a shortened season next winter and spring in order to get to the summer, because you're not going to take 6 months of an offseason off.
Right.
And then you will start in the late summer and fall of 2027 and play a season. You'll have a winter break as well around Christmas through the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That way you're not also playing soccer in 20-degree temperatures and 10-degree temperatures in Canada and in the Northeast United States. Here's what that does. It allows you to sync up with the rest of the world and acquire better talent. So right now, Ramon, when there is free agency in soccer, MLS is halfway through the season. So if I'm a player in England and my contract expires and I want to come to Major League Soccer, I can, but I'm jumping onto a treadmill that's already moving. Yeah. And there are less teams that can afford me because those teams have already spent a lot of their money at the beginning of the season. So if you're an MLS team that can afford one of the big free agents that's available from Europe, you have had to leave a big chunk of money available, or you've got to get rid of someone on your team mid-season, and you don't have a full training camp to get that player up to speed. We see it so much that the travel, the weather, the heat in this country, players coming from Europe need a full offseason to adjust before that guy can hit the ground running and really maximize his full value. Well, now, free agency in Major League Soccer is going to happen at the same time as England and France and Spain and Germany. And you are more readily able, if you're an MLS team, to pony up and pay for a player whose contract has just expired in Europe. So the level of talent is going to take another big, I don't mean just step up, I mean a big step up in this country, because if I sign a free agent, Ramon, I don't have to pay that player's transfer fee.
You can just sign them as
You can just sign them,
agent.
and you've got to pay their contract. That's exactly right. Like this past season, Nashville SC signed Christian Espinoza as a free agent from the San Jose Earthquakes. That is a deal that would have cost millions of dollars in order to acquire him on the transfer market or cash for trade from San Jose. He's a free agent. You still have to pay his contract. Yeah. Still one of the highest paid, reportedly, players. That's obvious. I mean, he's a designated player. But you didn't have to pay San Jose millions of dollars to get him. You are now able to afford even better talent for less.
So the question I have for you is this. Where does MLS stack when it comes, like, am I thinking of two different leagues when I think of like Manchester United? Like,
a different world.
Is there, okay, all right.
So there is a top five.
Okay.
And then there's kind of everyone else in the world.
Okay.
There is England, France, Spain, Germany, and Italy.
Okay.
Those are the five leagues that are the big five.
Okay.
There is a race to be the next best.
What you mean next best?
The next best league in the world.
Okay. Oh, that part of it. Okay.
I think
thought you were talking about those teams.
I think people at Major League Soccer would tell you over the next 20 years, they want to be more competitive in being one of the next best leagues. Portugal is in that mix. Netherlands is in that. Mexico. Being the best league on this continent is the first step for Major League Soccer and for the United States. And we're not there yet. We are at the point where our top teams are battling with the top teams of Mexico. But the way the rosters are built and the way that you are encouraging parity right now in Major League Soccer to allow everyone to have a chance every single season, it lowers the ceiling and it does raise the floor. But there's only so much you can do. Right. So right now, I've told you before, designated players in Major League Soccer. You have essentially three players that don't count against your salary cap. Yeah. Mexican teams have 10 to 11 guys that are at that salary level. So they have a team of designated players.
Right.
You've got 3 to 4 to 5 guys, if you build your roster in certain ways, who are at that caliber of
MLS
talent.
Want to navigate to that at some point?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's the ultimate aspiration. Be better than Liga MX.
Okay.
The top teams are getting to that point.
Yeah.
Nashville beating Club America, going to Mexico City, the stadium where this game was played.
That's why it was so big.
Nashville SC beat Club America in that stadium and was the first MLS team to ever win in that stadium ever. Those are the kinds of firsts that MLS wants more of, and Nashville is 100% part of it and leads the league right now. So
I get what I'm picking up what you're putting down on this.
I think MLS benefits from the more eyeballs. I think the Premier League really benefits from it because that's the best and most competitive and, to me, most interesting league in the world and easy for Americans to pick up on because it's just college football.
Why was the schedule set up the way it was in MLS anyway? Just the way they thought it would
a lot of reasons. Good question. Partly because of football stadiums that were shared with MLS teams. You have less of those now than ever before.
They built them now.
Because they've now built soccer-specific stadiums. So that was one of the requirements to join MLS is you have to build a soccer-specific stadium. So that's number one. Secondly is climate and the fact that you have a lot of Northeast and Canadian teams that you didn't want playing in 10, 15, 20-degree weather. Now you institute a winter break. And I think thirdly, too, is that you didn't really want to compete as much against football in the beginning of this league. Now, I think the rationale becomes we've got to go to break. But the rationale kind of becomes, would you rather play your postseason games around when football is, because that's what's happening right now? Or would you rather play the beginning of your season when football's going on and then have center stage in the spring and summer to play your championship games when nothing else is going on other than NBA, NHL, and baseball?
Yeah.
Much rather compete with that than compete with, again, like I said, MLS Cup has always been conference championship weekend in college football. That won't be the case anymore. There you go. 45 million people watching Mexico, England is insane to me. 615-737-1045. We'll get Josh on the phone when we start hour number 2. We will also take a look at the best edge rushers in the NFL, according to executive scouts and coaches to ESPN.com after this.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Man, we hate dealing with those issues around our house, whether it's your plumbing, your HVAC, or electrical. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you or if it'll get fixed right. Or, this is the part I hate, if somebody's trying to sell you something you don't need. I do know this. When you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly, and the price you tell is the price that you will actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises on your bill whatsoever. They've been in business for over 35 years and are family-owned and operated. Their techs, very professional, experienced, and super trustworthy. And when they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time, so you're not sitting around wasting your time. Their motto is, and they truly believe in it, happy you'll be or the service is free. That is 100% satisfaction every single time, and that is something you don't have to worry about when you're having somebody walk inside of your house that's working on your plumbing, your HVAC, or your electrical. If you want to be like me and learn more about Hiller or to book with them, simply head over to happyhiller.com.
7:04. Good morning, live from the Circuit Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Nashville Soccer Club news yesterday. Forward Sam Surridge was named to the 2026 MLS All-Star team for his second consecutive season. Nashville leads the MLS with 4 All-Stars. That includes previously announced first 11 selections in Hani Mukhtar, Andy Nahar, and Brian Schwacke. Major League Baseball news pitcher Justin Verlander announced on Wednesday that he will retire at the end of the 2026 MLB season. The 43-year-old is playing in his 21st season and has a long resume that includes 266 regular season wins, over 3,500 strikeouts, 3 Cy Young Awards, 2 World Series championships, and an MVP award as well. Coming up today, the World Cup quarterfinals begin as France takes on Morocco. It's a rematch of the 2022 World Cup semifinal from Qatar when France beat Morocco 2-0. France is looking for the 3rd consecutive World Cup semifinal appearance. For all your foundation repair and waterproof needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Bring you news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go to hour number 2 of your Friday Junior. Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, and you at 615-737-1045. Diving into the ESPN.com top 10 edge rushers list in a moment. Ramon, have you blocked Myles Garrett before?
Yeah.
Curious to learn what that was like.
A challenge because he's such a long athlete. Like, he bends like he's 5'10". No disrespect to the short kings out there, but it's power, it's speed, and it's unpredictable is what he is to block.
And 5'10's not even really that short.
That's what I'm saying. But like, imagine somebody
for edge rushers, maybe
he can legitimately like touch the ground and get around you, if that makes sense. Like put his arm on the ground. But here's the other part: he can reach over you. He could bull rush if he wants to as well. And just like I'll be real with you, the physical presence of him is damn intimidating if you're not right-minded. I got him young, is what I would say. He was young into the league. He didn't really know how to rush at that point. And I'll be real with you, I feel like we beat him up pretty good. And I told our guys, we need to get him now. It's the way I was looking at him, because he's been a terror almost ever since. But he is exactly who you think he is. Most powerful guys, probably Aaron Donald. But as far as like most unpredictable, on top of size, strength, and speed, is probably Myles Garrett.
It'll surprise no one that he is number 1 on this list. So, yeah. Well, we'll dive into that coming up here in just a minute. Josh in Smyrna, though, wanted to weigh in on the soccer discussion this morning. What's up, Josh?
Morning, Josh.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Good. Hey, I just want to call in, say, long-time listener, first-time caller. Appreciate you guys
yes,
on
sir.
my morning drive and at work.
Oh,
so we're a big sports family, mostly football and baseball. My 9-year-old son played baseball spring, fall, and he most recently, about a year ago, has expressed some interest in doing something different in the fall. And he has been weighing flag football pretty heavily. But we've been to MLS, we've been to National SC games, we've been to Titans games, and while we're watching the World Cup, he's dribbling his soccer ball around the house and watching the games and cheering, and he's like, "Dad, I think I want to do soccer this fall." And I was like, okay, well, let's talk about that. We talked about it, locked it in, doing soccer this fall. And he's pumped and still dribbling the ball around the house, going outside, working on his footwork. Never played organized soccer before, did some camps. But anyway, just thought that was really interesting just to see his excitement. And he loves football too, but, man, he is all in on soccer right now.
This is how it starts, Josh. Like it just is. And also, too, kudos to you, man, for giving your kid options as well. I think we pigeonhole our kids and say, hey, you're going to be a football player. No, let them do everything. I don't care if it's ballet or kickball. Like, let them do everything. But congrats to y'all on making that decision, man. That's big.
Yeah, we're excited. We've always been that way with our kids. My daughter does dance and gymnastics, and we always say is you just got to be committed to your team and ride it out, but we'll let you try whatever you want to, especially at this age, and learn and have fun. So
I love it.
No doubt.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate the call. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Call back anytime.
That exposure right there. Because growing up, like in the 90s, that sounds like ancient, doesn't it? In the 90s, soccer was very like small. It was a niche thing, I felt like, and we got a soccer ball and we dribbled it. Like
you're doing a basketball. 'Cause
yeah,
dribble also you can mean
with my hands,
with your feet, right?
Or we played kickball with it or dodgeball with it. Like we weren't playing. Like I never saw a soccer goal growing up, and now they're on every like rec field, every city park. They're everywhere right now, and I think that exposure is good because not everybody wants to play football. They just don't. I couldn't jump out of the gym. Like
I was too small.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would have been flattened.
I would say this. I think it's more numbers at least for an opportunity. So, Josh, if your kid is in it, like I will say this, the way it's set up, which is the problem that you had last week with it, like or previously we've spoken about it, like this sport isn't supposed to be super expensive. That's the issue.
Right.
I will say the other step that you will have to make, Josh, is training. That's just it if you're taking it serious. And if your son is young enough now, start now. Don't wait later. If somebody's got kids in travel sports and sports in general, start early is my only suggestion.
I can hear the people like, well, we should take some of these edge rushers that are on this list. What if they'd been soccer players? Man, Micah Parsons would have been a heck of a striker. I sound like Bobby Hill every time I do
I love it.
The voice like that.
I love it.
Yeah, and then the two best players of all time are like 5'6", 130 pounds, soaking wet. So that is the beauty of the sport, is that athleticism will get you far, but it will not get you all the way to the top.
That's true.
That is for sure. Myles Garrett, number 1 on ESPN.com's list of top 10 edge rushers. An NFL coordinator tells Jeremy Fowler he doesn't get enough credit for just how powerful he is and how you feel that up close. Everyone talks about Aaron Donald's power, but Myles is just as strong, this says. 23 sacks, NFL record. He received number 1 on every ballot for this vote.
Unanimous?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Micah Parsons was number 2. Which is pretty impressive considering he tore his ACL in December. Finished second in pass rush win rate, according to ESPN.com, at 24.6%, despite facing a double team 38% of the time, which is nearly 8 percentage points more than Myles Garrett. Why do you think that is?
Because he's so shifty and goes everywhere. He creates anxiety for interior guys. That's what it is. Because he can rush off the edge. I think tackles are usually fine against him unless they don't have the speed to get off to block a guy like him. But the way he's off ball and blitz downfield, like he creates a double team because the guard and center have to be on the same page about, okay, if he goes this gap, and he's so sudden in his movement that you have to contribute to him. You just do. You're going to name the third person. I give you my take on 2 and 3.
Will Anderson Jr. is third on this list, credited with causing 43 incompletions last season. That led the NFL. It was 6 more than any other rusher. He has 30 sacks in 3 years. He is Defensive Rookie of the Year and an All-Pro, and he has a 3-year, $150 million contract now with the Houston Texans. Would he be number 2 on your list?
Yes.
Why is that?
You can't, there's no plays off with him. I think the way Micah Parsons sets himself up to be a weapon isn't necessarily an edge rusher / DN to me. He's not position specific to me. He's a guy that just floats and make plays. Like I even view Von Miller as an edge rusher more than I do a guy like Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is an extreme linebacker that has the ability to rush to me. I'm putting Will Anderson Jr. off the edge because he affects the run, and he's also capable of lifting offensive linemen off their feet into getting into the quarterback as well. It is a game with Will Anderson and how he sets you up. He can power you. He can go around you. He can hit you in the face hard enough to where you feel like, what the heck just happened? Power in this league to me as far as the rusher goes, Myles Garrett, Will Anderson. You can, like, I'm probably going to be looked at as a hater on this one when it comes down to, like, Micah Parsons not being number 2 to me, but I view Micah Parsons as the way I would have blocked him in that sense, just like it doesn't finish with power, and that's his game. It finishes with finesse more than an edge rusher. Like,
sure,
it's not a traditional edge rusher to me per se.
Okay.
And I'm the biggest hater when it comes to these type of lists of defensive linemen, though. That's my offensive line.
You're born. It's in your DNA to not like defensive linemen.
It is,
or just defensive players. Because I've watched
down.
a lot of practices with you, and they bother you.
They do bother me. And offensive linemen bother defensive linemen too. Okay?
It's just like how hitters hate pitchers and vice versa in baseball.
I had that
Same
conversation yesterday. But I will say this, Michael Parsons has the ability to pick his weak spot. Will Anderson doesn't. That's the same way I felt about like J.J. Watt too. Like J.J. Watt is amazing, right? He's a Hall of Famer, easy first ballot. Walk into that thing with a shiny gold jacket. But he could pick and choose his duck each and every time.
He can move around.
And that's the way I feel like Michael Parsons' edge is, and the teams that he played for exploit that, and they should. But as far as a pure edge rusher, I'm putting Will Anderson above him.
So you're saying those guys have kind of been showcased as premier players.
Yeah.
Will Anderson Jr. has a running mate in Daniil Hunter, who's also on this list. Rushes off the same side more and is still putting up the same number of sacks and production.
If that makes sense to you.
I think it makes a ton of sense.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and Michael, if he's on my team, I love him. Absolutely. But like the way I would be against him is just like, man, you've been set up to succeed. You're not whooping ass every play. You just out here just picking which one you want to take.
Max Crosby is number 4, Aiden Hutchinson 5, Daniil Hunter, TJ Watt 7. A big drop for him after missing 3 games late last season with a partially collapsed lung. His pass rush win rate was 11.7%, the lowest among anyone on this list. Nick Bosa, who is coming off his second torn ACL, costed him all but 3 games last season. Brian Burns, 9, new player on this list. And Denver Bronco Nick Benito, number 10, who one high-ranking personnel evaluator says has the best get-off in the league and serious closing speed. 14 sacks for him last season. Any issues on this list? Any guys you'd rather see in here? Jared Verse was the first guy out, apparently, in
Verse should be
honorable mentions.
Max Crosby's too high for my liking. I think Max is a product of, one, he's a good player.
Showcase guy again, who is pretty much all that defense has.
Opportunistic when it comes down, like, and maybe I hadn't seen enough of the Raiders to be like, yeah, Max Crosby's killing it. I'd have moved Aiden Hutchinson up. Jared Verse will be in this thing. Nick Bosa will be out.
Okay. I like it. You blocked against a couple of these guys. So
I have.
take your word for it.
Benito should be higher.
Okay. I like it. Coming up next, stats aren't everything. But when we look at Cam Ward heading into year 2, what are these statistics that matter the most as we evaluate his second season in the NFL? That's next. So heading into year 2 of the Cam Ward experience in Nashville, what matters most as we track his progression and evaluate the number 1 overall pick and one of the faces of the franchise? Ramon Foster, Will Bolden, Ramon Will here on 104.5 The Zone and Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. So we have talked so much about the different ways we're going to watch Cam Ward this season, the different expectations, the things that matter. Ramon, if you're picking one stat, one way to judge the starting quarterback of these Tennessee Titans, what do you care about the most in 2026?
One stat?
Yep.
I'll go that way before we get into the philosophy. I mean, I guess the deep thought of it is fumbles in the pocket, taking care of the ball. I think that part of it, ball security, is paramount, I think, for him going into it. Shows me his pocket presence, shows me his ability to get rid of the ball when necessary, too. That holding onto the ball component of his game, especially when he's in the pocket. I think that judging it, him being decisive in his decisions, is going to be a stat line that I'm looking forward to. The sack fumbles can't happen each and every time that he's touched, or the lack of control of holding onto the ball. Those two things right there, controlling the football while in his hands.
Yeah, because on one hand, you box score scout Cam Ward, and he only had 7 interceptions. And then you scroll down the box score and go to rushing and receiving, and he fumbled 11 times.
Exactly. That number. It just shows, when I get it, he's trying to make plays, and he's trying to go and extend drives for his teams, but this isn't the ACC. This isn't college football anymore.
Or the Pac-2.
Okay? I play for a coach that said, our hopes and dreams rely upon your control of the football. Whoever possesses it possesses all our hopes and dreams. And him being the franchise guy, the quarterback, he can't have that be a part of his game whatsoever, Will. I'll start there. Ball security.
Well, that begs the question then, if fumbles and ball security are the most important thing for Cam Ward to improve in this year, have they done enough around him on the offensive line to give him the platform to be better? And have they done enough around him to help him be better at protecting the football this season?
I say wide receiver, yeah. On the offensive line is yet to be seen. Left side, I feel confident in. Figuring out this right side, right guard, right tackle, I think is going to be the biggest. It's probably the biggest, if not the second biggest question going into training camp this year. Where's JCE at right tackle, and where's the right guard when it comes down to who's going to win that position? So here's the other part, though, too, about like the offensive line side of it. The sacks will happen. I don't think you can have 50-plus again.
55 led the league last year.
Yeah, you can't have that many when you look at the offensive line side of it. But a good offense can overcome those sacks and still make first downs or put your team in a position where they're not behind the 8 ball as much, though, too. So I'll say that side of it. When it boils down to the sack side of it, I would go completion percentage, right? But listen to Shea Tierney speak about, I think it was Ron Dable, one of the two that had their coaches.
I believe it was Shea Tierney.
It was Shea Tierney.
Quarterback's coach.
Right. He can get Cam's completion percentage up by dump offs, 5-yard outs, and stuff like that. It's a matter of how good can Cam be with the ball going down the field and making the right decisions at the right moments on that completion percentage. That in itself tells a different story. We've seen quarterbacks in college be 70+%. And then you look at their game, dump off, screen, drop. I mean, it's those
Carson Beck.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I get people earn a living that way. But quarterbacks want to sling it. And you don't want to put a cap over what their talent level is. And I think that's what Cam is, too. We've seen him, Will, in these open practices, throw a slant over the hands of Cody Barton to one of his wide receivers. Like, that's what we want to see when we're talking about completion percentage going up. So I'll play that game, too. But I also say when it comes to sacks, he can't get rid of the ball in those moments. Like, it can't hit the ground. Or he can't be finding himself sack, fumble. Next thing you know, he's scrambling after the ball, reaching for it and hurt his shoulder because now a defensive lineman has fallen on him in those moments. Mm-hmm. So those are the parts of the game right there. If he can start with that, 11 fumbles, that, like, a running back will be out of the league at that point in time. Easily, you're fired is what you hear when you lose the ball or at least put the ball on the ground 11 times.
Pretty much 18 times when you count the interceptions.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And I know last year,
Needs to be better.
yes. I got 2 points, not necessarily stats, but it leads to stats being the case too when you look at Cam in this one.
Go ahead.
And it comes with pressure too. Adapt to the Daboll offense. I think it's there. And the reason I say it comes with pressure because Daboll has a track record of being able to get the most out of quarterbacks. And if Cam can't or doesn't adapt to this offense as quick as I think they need him to for what this team is asking of him, then that's problematic because the naysayers who can't wait to come and say, hey, Cam's not who we think he is. Well, they're going to say, well, Daboll did it with this quarterback and that quarterback and this quarterback too. And I think that is crucial for Cam to show that he can understand this offense. Not necessarily running no huddle at the line of scrimmage and, hey, you do this, I do this, but being able to say, this is where the ball goes. If not, here's my answer here. And it needs to look concise in how he gets it done as well. So is that part of it for him? And there's a lot of pressure that goes into that. And the other one is I think the hardest for him with who he has around him now. Establishing a rapport with these receivers. How? Who's my guy? Who's going to win, and I know he's going to win, and can I trust him each and every play? Like with what he had with Restrepo at Miami, can he find a guy, whether it be Calvin, Carnell, Wandale?
I think you hit the nail on the head with the third name you mentioned.
Yeah.
Wandale Robinson is going to be his new Xavier Restrepo, in my opinion.
Can he do that consistently while also feeding the beast of the number 4 overall wide receiver? And hey, don't forget about Calvin. Like, quarterbacks have to be jerks lightly. You know, like, hey, I need the ball. Shut up. I'll give you the ball when I have time to. I can't give you the ball right now.
Sure.
And I think Cam has that in him in a very respectful teammate type of way. But these are a lot of bodies just at the wide receiver position that he has to figure out who's going to be the guy. And you mentioned, I think it's obvious, Wandale has the most polished aspect of this offense down and his game and route running too. I know Calvin's an elite route runner, and we're super optimistic about what Carnell can be. But you made a valid point. Like, Wandale gets it.
Well, I feel like Wandale is more the guy you're going to see get the football on gotta have it, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10. Like he is your guy to keep drives alive.
Yeah.
And Carnell Tate is going to be your deep shot, big play wide receiver. Like if I had to predict it right now, I think Wandale Robinson leads the Titans in catches and Carnell Tate leads the Titans in receiving yards.
I can see that. Because that's been Wandale's game, too.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, because of injury with Malik Neighbors, he kind of stepped up and proved that he can go be a one.
Right, and they finally let him catch deeper passes and not just the dink and dunk stuff as well. Because Wandale Robinson is not Chim DK in get him the ball at the line of scrimmage and let him run.
Right.
Wandale Robinson can get open and catch passes against zone coverage down the field and find that soft spot, but not just between 0 to 10 yards. He can 10 to 20 yards and plus.
We saw that.
So looking at Cam's stats last season, and again, we're going to get somebody who says, and rightfully so, hey, stats aren't everything, right? Like, box score can only tell you so much. And that's 100% right. Mm-hmm. Last season, Cam Ward completed 59.8% of his passes, 3,169 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 11 fumbles, which led the league, 1 fourth-quarter game-winning drive. He was sacked 55 times, and those sacks lost 410 yards. Both of those led the league. He was tied with Geno Smith for most times sacked last season. I think there's a traditional stat and a non-traditional quarterback stat I care about the most. Completion percentage would be the quarterback stat that I care about the most. And I know that there are avenues for that not mattering, because if you're throwing the ball away more, if you are getting it out of your hand more quickly and taking more chances, that number is only going to go so high. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams last season was under 60%, and I think we would all agree Caleb Williams got better from year 1 to year 2, and Caleb Williams had 6 game-winning drives last season. Bears were a good team in part because of how much better he got. So it's not everything, but I do want to see Cam Ward be more accurate consistently, 10 to 20 yards downfield, 20-plus yards downfield. He's got to give his guys a chance a little bit more than he did last season. But beyond that, I'll be honest with you, just win. Just win games. I think wins matter the most for Cam this season. Because I think the defense is good enough to give him a chance to be in position to go win the football team some games.
Yeah.
I think this defense is going to be pretty good. I really do.
Right.
I think if they stay healthy with a couple of their big name guys, if Jeffrey Simmons is healthy for 15 to 17 games this season, if your two corners are healthy, if Amani Hooker bounces back a little bit this season, if some young guys take a step forward, I think the defense is good enough to put Cam in position to go on some game-winning drives. Can you go on them when you are given the football late with a chance to win your team the game? That's really what I care about most this year. Give this franchise something to believe in. Give the fan base some hope moving into a new building that you are the guy to lead us and win us games. Because during the Ryan Tannehill era, during the post-Tannehill era, bridging the gap to now, we're looking around at all these teams. We got knocked out in 2021 by a team that was able to maximize a rookie quarterback contract, drafted their guy in Cincinnati, and set themselves up to be in a window. And it feels like there are teams that have the guy and don't have the guy. And all the ones who don't are looking at the drafted quarterbacks around this league saying, when am I going to find that guy that allows me to go pay a bunch of other dudes and have this young quarterback while he's in a rookie deal lead me to any of these new stadiums that are opening up and compete for Super Bowls? Well, you are in that window right now contractually with Cam Ward, where you can afford to surround him with really good football players. But is Cam going to hold up his end of the bargain? Wins are not a total quarterback stat, but I think they really matter for him this year because I believe the defense is good enough to give him a chance to win games.
I'm with you there. The support will be there.
The supporting cast on offense, I still have major questions and doubts about the offensive line. And I think those are warranted based on how those guys have played or not played in their careers. But I think the defense is good enough to give the offense a chance to not have to go score 30, 40 points a game in order to win games.
It's funny. As you was talking, I agree with all of what you just said, too. I was looking up guys that are in this window with Cam when it boils down to they had tough intros into the NFL. Caleb Williams is tough-ish when you look into it. The other guy that pretty much is aligned directly with Cam's career is Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers quarterback. Their rookie years are very, very much the same. They went 2-14 in a 16-game season. Bryce Young in his rookie year threw the exact same completion percentage that Cam did.
59.8%, you're right.
He was sacked more times than Cam, 62 times for 477 yards, almost 5 touchdowns of sacks, basically. You know how many fumbles Bryce Young had that year?
How many?
11. My point is this, though, too, looking at what Bryce Young's been capable and able to do. It's one thing that Bryce has done, especially in year 3 in 2025, that you are looking for, and you mentioned it with Cam as well when you talked about Caleb. Those game-winning drives, those ideas that, hey, you got hope to go win games.
Those moments.
Those moments. In year 1 for Bryce Young, he had 2 of them, which, I mean, probably contributed to the 2 wins on the season. Fast forward to 2025, Will. He had 4 of them. No, 6 of them. I'm wrong. He had 6. Ball in his hand, drive down the field to win football games. They went 8-8 this year. Again, 500. What was as a starter with him as a starter. He won 8 games, lost 8 games, with 6 of them being game-winning drives for him. You think about that. If he's not developing the way you want to, that's a bad record for them. That's where, in my opinion, the quarterback having to make that step, have those impactful plays, having those moments, that's where you become a franchise quarterback.
That's where you become a guy that can lead your team in cold weather football.
He got his coach.
In January and February.
They were getting him protection. He has a defense. Dave Canales is a guy that you believe that can get Bryce Young over the top, because I'll be real with you, after that first year or so, it's like he went number 1. Like he's a first-round quarterback, and now you're starting to see it. So I think this is just a cautionary tale to, like, Titans fans slightly too. Like, it's taken Bryce 3 years to get to this point. Are you willing to watch Cam take incremental steps of being the franchise quarterback if he also is giving you these types of moments as well? Like I said, the game-winning drive part of it to me is where it becomes, I guess, an eye-opener. 2 his first year, 4 his second year, and now his 6. You see the incline that he's on.
And I think 2 wins matter because, again, if they do lose 12, 13, 14 games again, the conversation about drafting a new quarterback gets a little bit louder.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other part of it. That's again, why you got to win games.
Would you say that conversation's dead in Carolina now with the season that Bryce had?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what you're wanting for Cam.
I do.
That's what that is a great point because
win enough games to give your franchise hope that you are the one to lead them forward.
Absolutely.
Long term. Because otherwise they're just going to draft another one.
They will. They will. And we've seen quarterbacks numerous times either get traded, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. We can name Baker Mayfield, all of these guys. Well, Baker got a second deal in Cleveland. But, like, you look at all of these quarterbacks. They got pushed out and, hey, we'll go get another one. It's easier to do it now. This upcoming draft class, I'm sure the one after that, we're going to have a quarterback class as well. Mm-hmm. But that is the point. That by year 3, you want to say, okay, we're good with the 5th-year option.
Will Levis had 2 years, then he was done. I know he wasn't the number 1 overall pick. It's not exactly the same situation. And I'm not, please do not hear me when I say this. I am not saying that it's time to think about that for Cam. But he's got to hold up his end of the bargain. That way the team has no choice but to continue to put him in the best position to be successful. And that starts with winning games.
It does.
There's pressure on Cam Ward when that moment is given to him to strike while the iron's hot. When this defense gives you 20-17, you're down by 3 with 2 minutes left, ball on your own 20. What you going to do? You can go lead a field goal drive?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you going to get close but not close enough again?
Think about if we're in this group of young quarterbacks. Think about why Jaden Daniels took off so much, and it's more about what you just said like 3 minutes ago. The moments. Jaden Daniels in his rookie year has some big moments,
and you never know when those moments are going to come.
You don't.
But can you take advantage when they're given to you?
Can you take advantage of them?
Because I think this defense is good enough to give him some opportunities to lead the Titans to wins.
You got me antsy about this conversation now because, like, that is where, like, that's how you get solidified as a player. Even on the offensive or defensive line. Like, young Jeff that came into this league, you saw him push people back early in his career to say, boy, when he grow up, that pup is going to be nice. Like, Cam's needing those puppy moments now. To where he said, boy, you got some big old paws, man. I can't wait till he grow up. And he hasn't had but one of those. You see the passes, and the passes are awesome. Like, having an elite pass, like, it almost, like, ends or gets smothered because, like, we saw Will Levis have a 3-touchdown game. One moment. Like, and that's the way I feel about, like, I don't want to call them circus passes. I want to call them, like, the off-script, like, old side body stuff. That's cute and cool. But I think when you're looking at a franchise guy, can he also, Patrick Mahomes, is get up and go score a touchdown? And it's an unfair comparison with Patrick, but, like, when we're talking about, like, creating a franchise guy, that's where the conversation has to take off from is how many moments have you won that contribute to dubs as well? Because it ain't just the moments. I don't know. Like, this was more in depth than I thought it should have been. But, yeah.
What do you mean?
It is because, like, we're speaking about where does he take these steps? Okay, now it's evolved into the guys that are in his era that have taken the proper steps have had moments. And that's where we're waiting for Cam and Brian Dable to have those types of moments. And he's got a better support this time around.
Find a way to go win games. It's just the thing that matters for your offense and for your quarterback this year. Just find a way to win.
Yeah. Yes.
Find a way to win.
It's a beautiful process, man, to kind of watch it unfold. It's the same way we've spoken about Peter Skoronski and watching him kind of grow into that next phase, that next era, into being a consistent above-the-line player. Like, be slow to judge, I would say, Titans fan, when it comes to Cam, but watch and see when he takes that next step, and it's going to be so beautiful. God.
615-737-1045. What is the thing that matters most to you in Cam Ward's second season as the starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans? We'll get to your reaction next. Ramon Will at 104.5 The Zone rolls on. Streaming live at 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. 615-737-1045, the number. What do you care about the most with Cam Ward's development in year 2? If you're picking one stat, one number that defines the upcoming season, and of course, numbers lie. Stats aren't everything, but they're important. Set the benchmark now. What you laughing at?
No, somebody in our YouTube chat, I looked down for a second while you was coming back and shouldn't have at all. I don't even know when I said what he put in the chat.
Kids in the back of the classroom distracting the good students up front.
I didn't do anything.
That's what's going on.
I didn't do anything, Mr. Boland. It wasn't me. That was
I'm
me.
not the teacher.
Well, that's the way it kind of goes in the classroom.
I got you stressed during that last segment.
You did. Because there's a lot that kind of like talking Cam and quarterbacks is, I always say, like, quarterbacks, not the person, the position, the player is fragile, right? For the franchise, for the player himself, for the fans, for the team. It just is. You have to curate your team around this guy when you feel like you have, and especially a young one. And facilitating Cam in a spot to where he's got a good offensive coordinator now. He's got a stable head coach. He's got a supportive staff on the defensive side of the ball. Let's just start there. And then trying to figure out how does he get to a point in which he becomes successful himself. Like I said, the one thing that Cam has working against him, the one thing, is that Brian Dable's proven that he can be the quarterback whisperer or the offense whisperer. He's proven it. There's a lot of pressure.
I think that's working for him.
But he also has to do his part into executing that.
Sure, but I mean, I think the biggest thing working against him is the inexperience of the offensive line.
Yeah, that's true.
I think good things can be good things, and bad things are just bad, right? Like yes, Brian Dable being here puts pressure on Cam to look better with a proven offensive coordinator, head coach, but still, the biggest thing keeping Cam Ward from being successful is the pass protection to me.
Only reason I bring it up about the coach pressure is the way we viewed Bill Callahan to the offensive line. We instantly thought it was going to be perfection, and that's the part to where the naysayers are going to judge Cam's like, well, this quarterback picked it up and Cam didn't. If it doesn't go that way, which I think it will, because Cam is the ambition of his own is through the roof. So I do think that will be fine. And then, of course, establishing who's he going to be with these wide receivers. And lastly, as I said before, looking at the era of quarterbacks that he's with right now, especially the first rounders, Jackson Dart playing a part into it. He and Cam being together. And you go Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., who's probably the last on that list at this current point in time, and Bryce Young, even going back to that draft, like, we can see the incremental steps that have to be made. It's a matter of patience, and how does Cam make these decisions when given the opportunity to make these moments, Will? Like, he has to have more moments.
Without question.
He has to.
Yeah, he's got to get better than he was last year because, you feel like everything's better around him, and you're not going to have an interim coach for 2/3 of the season.
Yeah. To kind of add on to that, how much do you guys view like advanced analytics, such as EPA, expected points added, which is essentially just the impact the quarterback has on the field on any given play, pass, rushing?
It's the whipped cream of the sundae to me. It's not the sundae. It's not the foundation that I look at first.
So if we're just looking at Cam Ward in comparison to all 32 starting quarterbacks that had played at least 8 games half the season last year, he ranks last at minus 0.17 points per play. That's his impact on the field. Now, of course, you add into the fact of the weapons that he had on the field,
True.
The offensive line he had blocking for him, took the 55 sacks, lost all that yardage. He's not making that much of an impact because he's not having those moments like you're saying. So that's just kind of putting like the T on the head there, or the nail on the head there.
Nail on the head. Yeah, I get that. The advanced, that gives more context for sure as to how effective he should or he was, I guess, after the fact.
Now, if you're making it even worse and you're adding no qualifications or anything like that, any quarterback that played a snap last year, he ranks 55th at minus 0.17 points per play.
It was that bad last
and he
year?
ranked
Like the team?
He ranked 10th in the league in plays for the season at 634 plays on the season.
Yeah, and that's why I think I'm not going yards per attempt or yards and stuff like that, because Cam could throw for 4,000 yards this year, and you could go 4-13, and he's racking up yardage late in games while you're down by 20 points.
The Deshaun Watson effect.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you would just rather see him have a little bit more of an impact on the field this year. And it just doesn't have to be whether he's passing the ball or not. Just how is he protecting the football? What is he doing with the football? If he is passing or handing the ball off, just taking care of it and making important plays down the field.
Commenter on YouTube, Andy Chris says, what if all of those things about Brian Daboll can help Will Levis improve and not Cam Ward? That ship sailed the day Roger Goodell stepped up to the podium and said, with the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami.
You know what, Will? You know what I want from Chris? I want Chris to call in and verbally explain.
I don't. I don't. Respectfully, Chris. I don't. We don't need to. We don't need to. I respectfully love you, Chris. Like for the 20th time, we don't need for the 20th time to talk about if Will Levis is going to be the starting quarterback of the Titans, because he's just not. Maybe I don't know, guys get hurt, whatever. Like you never say never. I'm not going to speak in total absolutes, but
here,
Cam Ward is the starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans.
I just want
That's about as close to saying something is 100% going to happen as I ever will. Cam Ward is the starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. And the day he was drafted, everything in this organization was about setting him up for success.
I love Chris for that because it makes me smile.
Now you're, again, the kid in the back of the class loving the other stuff going on, not the subject we're supposed to be talking about.
I know that's exactly what's going on right now. And you know me. You know I love this type of stuff. But yeah, I'm with you. Chris, Vandy Chris. I respect the whole name. It ain't going to happen.
No.
Well, now he's saying the word is that Levis is number 2 over Trubisky.
That's not the case. Mitch Trubisky is the backup quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. As things sit right now, Hendon Hooker has a better chance of being a Titan than Will Levis does.
He's not. Where'd you get a depth chart from, Chris? I would love to know who gave you a depth chart. And don't give me respectfully a blog's the prediction on it. Okay, don't do that. If it did not come Tennessee Titans official, it is not a depth chart. It's just not. I can't believe Levis got a stronghold on this thing.
For some people, yeah.
He does. I got to be calling from, Murfreesboro. That's anti-Cam. He's a Levis.
We got a couple of those, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. It's just that, that ship has sailed. I can't even do this segment no more. That ship has sailed as far as him being the franchise guy. Will Brian Daboll potentially help him be a better quarterback?
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes just being around is a part of it as well.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what his preseason looks like. And just watching Will at practice. I mean, the good moments are still good. It's the same stuff. If he can predetermine where he's going with the ball and that guy's open, then, things could look good. But the second he's got to go somewhere else with the football or make another decision or adapt on the fly, bad things happen.
So here's the thing that Chris said, and I hate that I laughed so hard. I'm saying it's a fair question though, and those numbers from OTAs show that Levis had the better numbers, best numbers.
Ooh.
You all even discussed that.
No.
We also heard Coach Saleh and Daboll said they don't repeat plays or say you get the same play as Cam get. Like they're working on two totally different scripts. Chris, the context of his numbers being different than Cam's is this. Cam's getting starter reps when it comes down to, how they're trying to position him for training camp and also for the season as well. Backup quarterbacks don't get the exact same script. They know the plays. But you got to think about this. What is the one thing we speak about when the backup quarterback goes in?
And he's playing backups.
Exactly.
Will Levis isn't playing the Titan starters. Of course things look a little bit different. And who cares about numbers in May? Statistics don't matter right now. There are no statistics. It's practice. We're not supposed to keep statistics this time of year. 615-737-1045, hour 3 of Ramon and Will after this. Second half of the show, in hour 3 getting started. Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, our producer, Justin Hawkins, and you at 615-737-1045. A writer at CBSSports.com grading quarterback surroundings in the NFL is not a big fan of how the Tennessee Titans have helped Cameron Ward entering year 2. Jared Dubin writing at CBSSports.com in a 7-tier system, weighting 1 through 5, play caller, offensive line, pass catchers, and running backs. The importance of all of these things put together. He's got the Titans, Ramon Foster, as the number 31 supporting cast around their quarterback in the NFL.
At 31?
Taking into account play caller, offensive line, pass catcher, and running back.
Oh, wow.
In tier 6, Jared Dubin has the Tennessee Titans ranked 31st to the same tier as the Browns and Commanders.
Ugh.
Writing, we had concerns about the group when the Titans surrounded Cam Ward heading into his first season, and things aren't much better this year, despite their efforts to upgrade the wide receiver core with Wan'Dale Robinson and Carnell Tate. Hiring Brian Daboll, he says, gives them an average play caller. An upgrade from last year, sadly, he writes. But they didn't do nearly enough to take care of the issues along the offensive line. The only team with a worse grade from Jared Dubin at CBSSports.com was the Miami Dolphins, who were in a tier by themselves as the worst supporting cast around their quarterback, and I don't think anybody's going to argue that.
No.
What do you think? 31? I think it's a little harsh.
That's very hard.
I don't think Brian Daboll is an average play caller, first and foremost. That's where I disagree. What do you think?
Is this specifically just offense that he's judging in this sense?
Again, it's play caller, running back, wide receiver, offensive line.
Yeah.
So those scores were weighted so that the importance of the play caller, O-line, and pass catchers are greater than running back.
Well, it's the proven part of it. I think he's judging it on. If we're going to be objective and say it is, okay, well, Wan'Dale did it in a role on a team that didn't have a great record itself. And he's a guy that played out of position almost in a sense, but he elevated himself. Can he do that with a second-year quarterback in camp? That's fair. I still look at this list as just still kind of harsh. When you break it down, the floor has been raised higher than I think tier 6. It is. Yes, is there help needed? Most definitely. Is there experience that needs to be garnered out of this? Absolutely. But if Jared Dubin is looking at this list the way you want to, like how much has he looked at the offense? Like, yeah, the offensive line is a concern, but the way I view what I think this blocking protection is going to be, then I don't think there's a huge concern for a guy to need an elite guy. Like, you want elite tackles to win one-on-ones, and I look at, of course, Dan is very serviceable. I think he's above the line when you view how he is as a player. Is it going to be perfect? No, but no tackle in the NFL other than Trent Williams and Laramie Tunsil are elite players when it boils down. There's others as well.
Well, you raise a good point. Like, how many teams around the league right now have fan bases that are worried about their offensive lines?
Numerous.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that, you've done enough. Like, it doesn't excuse it. But at the same time, the Titans are not alone in feeling like the offensive line is a problem spot entering training camp.
But here's the average play caller side of it to me is this. Okay, he can be an average play caller. What about the talent that's surrounding him or that can come out of this? If Cam arm and mind and quarterbacking improves, that raises Daboll's play calling, does it not? If Carnell comes out and becomes a stud and a bona fide ball catcher, like that's a part of elevating Daboll's play calling as well. The balance that you need offensively and defensively raises the play calling of an offensive coordinator. Like, so there is context to be given. I do think tier 6 that's almost disrespectful in this one. I don't think they're as far off as what the Browns are as an offense or the Commanders for that matter. We're talking about a team and the Browns that had to replace 5 offensive linemen in one offseason. The Titans aren't in that boat, and you also brought in players that have been in this system before. So this to me is I don't want to give him 30,000-foot view that I think Jared Dubin respectfully wrote this from. I think he's at about 10,000 feet up and just said, oh, yeah, it just looked like it's going to be bad. I don't necessarily see it as being tier 6.
So if we were to give a 1 to 5 rating for each of these characteristics, first of all, for play caller, he has said that Brian Daboll is an average play caller.
3.
I would put him at a 4. I would put him at an above average play caller.
Okay.
Offensive line, I mean, I think right now it may get better, but you're looking at a 1 or a 2.
I give him 2.
I think I would say a 2 out of 5.
I like the left plus center.
I think Peter Skronsky alone raises you from a 1 to a 2.
Yeah.
Again, it is a position group where you are only as good as your worst one, kind of like corner.
Mm-hmm.
You could have prime Joe Thomas and Orlando Pace and all these guys on one side, but if you've got prime Dennis Daly on the other, it's not going to matter. Your quarterback's still going to be under pressure. Yep. But I'd say starting right now, about a 2. Again, on the flip side, though, you could have looked at the 30,000-foot view and seen Lloyd Cushenberry at center last year and thought, oh, that's a high money, like good center who's earned a big contract. But Lloyd Cushenberry didn't live up to that last year. Titans were better at running the ball when Corey Levin was in last season. Mm-hmm. Pass catchers, I would put at league average right now.
3.
And that's because I believe so much in Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
We've watched Carnell Tate. With all due respect, Jared Dubin has not. And I like Jared. We've had him on the show. He's a fine writer at CBSSports.com.
Oh.
Running backs, again, I think Tony Pollard is a solid league average running back.
Will you put him at 3?
Yeah.
Plus 3.
So at that point, I mean, I think 31st is harsh. I think
that puts him as a 3.
That ranking
That's
is
on average. If we did it,
right, it would be pretty much right at average.
Yeah, I thought the way it's set up. If you're here every day and you see it, I guess, and cover him, I would have put him in tier 3 or tier 4. I think 4 at the lowest possibly. If you want to be harsh and put him at 5, yeah, but I don't think they're bottom of the NFL when you view what these categories are.
Let's see who else is in that tier, shall we?
Yeah. In 6, you mean, or 3 or 4?
3 and 4.
Fair.
So let's look at the entire list. Offensive infrastructure rankings, what this is titled at CBSSports.com. So again, the Dolphins are far and away the worst. And it's fair because Malik Willis has Jalen Tolbert, Malik Washington, Tutu Atwell, an injured Chris Bell, Greg Dulcich. Those are the pieces surrounding Malik Willis.
Greg
and then Devon
Dulcich.
Achane. Yep, tight end.
I never even heard of him.
Drafted a couple years ago out of, I believe, Nevada.
Respectfully, that's my bad, Greg.
Tier 6, he has as help needed. Again, Titans, Browns, Commanders. Tier 5, help wanted. Carolina Panthers, New York Giants, New York Jets, Houston Texans, Arizona Cardinals. That's the help wanted part. That'd be tier 5. Cardinals are far too low for me there. Like, far too low. He's got to give a little bit more credit to Jeremiah Love, Michael Wilson, obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. I think the Cardinals would be actually top half of the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tier 4, so this is where you would put the Titans, in your opinion, around this group of teams. Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Las Vegas Raiders, Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New England Patriots. You think the Titans should be around that conversation in terms of help?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, just looking at, the biggest detriment of that group is Cam hadn't done what those quarterbacks have did.
Sure, but this isn't about quarterback. This is about everything but quarterback. This is about offensive infrastructure to help your quarterback.
Thinking about the teams that you just said. Reel at 4 off again?
Steelers, Ravens, Raiders, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Patriots.
If the Raiders are in there, most definitely the Titans is in that conversation.
Yeah, I think Raiders are a bit too high. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that fits them, the Titans. 4 or 5.
Raiders, their infrastructure around Kirk Cousins, their starter, because right now Kirk Cousins is the starting quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. Wide receivers Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, and Jack Besh. Tight end Brock Bowers. Running back Ashton Genty. Offensive line of Colton Miller, Spencer Burford, Tyler Linderbaum, Jackson Powers Johnson, and DJ Glaze. I'm not sure how that's much better than what the Titans have, to be quite honest with you.
Like I said, the only thing I think that's knocking them is just the right side of this offensive line got questions. And clearly Dubin doesn't like Dable as a play caller as much, or just call him average.
Would you view Genty as a solid running back as he lists him in this versus a Pollard who is probably more listed as an average, even though he's been a steady Eddie for the past 4 years?
Tony Pollard had more yardage than Ashton Genty did last year on similar football teams.
And he's 4 straight seasons of over 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wouldn't call him just average.
And this isn't weighted, like he writes at the beginning of this article, running back is weighted as less important than play caller, O-line, and receiver. So running back has hardly anything to do with this. Otherwise, the Cardinals wouldn't be as low as they are because they've got Jeremiah Love.
No doubt.
Much to the dismay of a lot of Titans.
Outside of Tyler Linderbaum and Brock Bowers, I think the Titans have every edge over
That's what I'm saying. Who are the wide receivers for the Raiders?
Trey Tucker, Jack Besh, Jalen Naylor.
Woof.
Ooh.
Hardly know her.
Who is he a fan of? Jeff Dubin.
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying.
I have no idea.
He's clearly a Raiders fan if he chose to put them in that tier.
Let's see why he says Raiders have a very good play caller and new head coach Clint Kubiak.
First.
A solid offensive line anchored by Tyler Linderbaum and Colton Miller, and a solid running back with Ashton Genty, all of which helps prop up the fact that their pass catchers are below average outside of Brock Bowers. Add it up, and you come up with an ecosystem that is just about average for number 1 overall pick Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, that's a little off.
And he downgrades the Seahawks because they don't have Clint Kubiak anymore. So it sounds like he just is weighting Clint Kubiak as a very good play caller.
Yeah, I don't side with him on that side. There's pushback on the fact that he's got a rookie quarterback that he's pretty much hinging this on. I know Kirk is there as well, but Genty doesn't add much to it. And he mentioned 2 offensive linemen.
Yeah,
We're going 2 offensive linemen. We go Peter Skoronski and we go Dan Moore for that matter because Colton is fine, but like Colton's not top tier in my personal opinion right now.
Colton Miller at Pro Football Focus last season did not have enough snaps to get a grade last year.
That's what I'm saying.
He had 250 total snaps last season in 2025 as I sign into PFF. That way I can look at the important stats.
Yeah, but that's
Shout out
what's
to the robots
fascinating.
that run
Right.
PFF now.
There's a cloud, I guess, in how the Titans are judged nationally when you just and clearly Dubin's in a spot to where he's just writing this article for summertime content.
Sure, right.
And that's the other side of it. So Titans in 6 is based upon just a record. If that's the case, the Raiders are in the same situation. What is Clint Kubiak as a head coach and also as a play caller for this offense?
Colton Miller, number 15 overall pick in 2018 out of UCLA, but the Las Vegas Raiders allowed 7 sacks in his last full season as a starter at tackle.
Who else had 7
That was in
sacks?
2024.
Did Dan have 7 or did JC have 7? I think JC
I believe
did.
JC had either 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I know he has 15 in his first 2 seasons because we talked about that yesterday. Dan Moore last season at left tackle for the Titans was credited with 8 sacks.
So same conversation as Colton Miller, but he mentions him as one
Similar
of the premier
players.
players.
Yep.
And also, what
Dan
is
Moore drafted in 2021, a little bit younger too.
And what is Lindenbaum as a center for the Raiders at this point?
We don't know.
Exactly. We can poke so many holes in this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it comes down to he believes that Clint Kubiak is a better play caller than Brian Dable.
And Stoney Keeley just put in we've been waiting for Colton Miller, to take that next step for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's crowning him? Don't do this.
The full list, Tier 3, he has above average supporting casts. Indianapolis Colts, Philadelphia Eagles, Denver Broncos, New Orleans Saints, Green Bay Packers, Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings.
No pushback.
Tier 2, very good environments. LA Chargers, Cincinnati Bengals. Interesting. Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, Jacksonville Jaguars, San Francisco 49ers.
No pushback, really.
And 1 through 4, Cowboys 4, Lions 3, Bears 2, and the LA Rams, he says, is the best infrastructure. They have the best infrastructure for their quarterback.
No real pushback on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're kind of splitting hairs once you get past about number 20 in the league, where you've got a lot of guys you're waiting to take steps, and you have a lot of players who are just kind of in moments great, and other moments not so great.
I gotta look this up. But somebody put in the chat, Dubin isn't even a full-time analyst. He's a lawyer. Not even joking. Not that there's anything wrong with being a lawyer.
Yeah,
no, let's slander him. Okay?
We've had him on the
Let's
show
do
before.
this.
I
Let's
think he
do
does
it.
a fine job. I don't know. It's just Something that was up at CBSSports.com. I thought
It's a good article, good breakdowns. It led to a great conversation, but I don't think that puts the Titans in tier 6 when you got the Raiders that high up as well.
He also said, as he does, he's done this for 4 years. He says, I compiled an initial draft of these rankings, then ran by the rest of the writers, editors, and podcasters on the CBS NFL staff, incorporated their feedback to create the version of the rankings you'll see below. So it's not just his list. It's pretty much a total CBS list.
That's almost like the NFL top 100 at this point, if that's how he accumulated more stats.
I think it's better than that. I don't think there's any. There are not many lists in sports worse than the NFL 100. With all due respect. 615-737-1045. All right, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm curious how this is going to go. We're doing another draft next, snake draft. Everyday tasks that feel like sports. How long are y'all's lists on this?
It's pretty solid. I'm going to be real
Yeah, I
with
got
you.
about 10, 11, 12 things.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Really?
Yeah, we out here.
Okay.
Depends on how many tasks you do at home.
Okay.
And depending on which ones you separate from the other, too.
Also, just use your imaginative, creative mind.
I can break them
believe
down,
me.
too.
I've got too much of an imagination at times.
I can break down how and why it's a problem.
Okay. We'll do that coming up next. Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone into another Thursday snake draft. The only kind of snake that I like. Because if you know me, you know that is the thing that I hate most in this world.
Yes, sir.
Is snakes.
I'll share that.
You what?
I'll share that with you.
You agree?
I hate snakes.
I despise them. They're literally the devil.
I don't want to touch it.
So you're not part of the group that says if you see one in a road, don't run it over, just relocate it?
Oh, no, I'm getting out of my way to run it over.
I was going to
I'll
say.
go against traffic to take the head off that thing.
I'm not
See
gonna,
ya, buddy.
I'm not going to miss it.
Here comes the incoming. But Will, there are good snakes. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Oh, that's like when people talk about spiders.
They get rid of rats and vermin. Cool.
Any type of spider is a dead spider.
I'd rather see a mouse over a snake 100 times out of 100. I'm good. They can hang out. I'll give them a piece of cheese.
Even that's a little piece of cheese. What's worse though? You gave a terrible comparison. I'd much rather see a spider than a mouse.
No.
Well, I didn't say that. I was talking more snake.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm choosing neither.
I would choose spider for sure too.
Any spider's a
100%.
dead spider.
Any spiders are dead? Nah,
I never really I've not minded spiders.
I kind of let them do their thing. My wife now, her garden is welcoming them. Okay, she's like, "Yeah, do your job. Get these little insects up out the way."
Okay.
I don't like bugs.
You don't like bugs?
No.
They bug you.
They sure
Shout
do.
out All American Pest there.
There you go.
Yes.
Just saying.
Everyday tasks that feel like sports. I came up with more during the break, so I'm feeling a little bit better. Let's go to our wheel picker. I would call myself a will picker. I'm just kidding. Well, let's go there. It's my name, Ramon with no E. Take notes, everyone. Okay. Here we go. Spinning the wheel for first pick.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
New dad strength. Justin Hawkins.
You know what? He needs some excitement in his life. That's the only dub he's had since last Monday.
He's going to have
I don't know.
fatherhood-based answers on this.
Even though I didn't have a lot of sleep like the night before he was born, it was a pretty joyful thing. That was pretty joyful, I would say.
I got you.
All right. And we'll spin the wheel once again. I will have the second pick.
Good, because I want the back-to-backs. I got a good
I like that.
list.
The second pick.
I got a good list.
You would have enjoyed our one of best broadcast calls, by the way, too.
Yeah.
It was the last
that was fun.
one that we did with Rhett while you were gone.
You want to explain this one again on what we're drafting right now?
So the way I'm framing it is just everyday tasks that feel like sports. So I don't want to give an example because we've spoken about this. I think people will start to get what we mean when we start giving answers. So, Justin, why don't you just kick things off and take your number one overall pick?
Okay, I thought about this late last night because this is the probably most truest thing that you do either weekly, monthly, whatever. But you go to the grocery store and you get your groceries. You come home, you load it. You get them out of your truck, your car, whatever.
Don't do it.
And what do? You grab as many bags as you possibly can. I'm going to call this one the grocery carry.
The grocery carry.
Yeah. You know what it does?
What?
It builds strength.
That was mine.
Grip strength,
That was my first one
shoulders,
as well.
core,
That was your first one?
your
That was my
legs,
first pick.
because no telling how many groceries you got, but you got to get it all.
I'm here for a haul.
Bringing in groceries in one trip.
Bringing in groceries.
That is something that everyone shares. I don't know what it is. Why do we not want to take the extra 90 seconds to go back out to the car, get your stuff again, and then walk back in? I will never know.
I'll tell you, my steps are involved. From the garage to into the house, like just going up and down the steps is why.
I live very far from the elevator in my building, too. So for me, it's like a very long walk back to the car. Yeah.
For me, it's like
good pick.
20 yards, but
I feel like
I got to get strong.
So that's the kind of stuff we're talking
Taking
about.
my
Like,
broccoli.
things that are everyday tasks that you're competitive about. That's probably the better way to put it. Like competitive chores. Okay.
that could be competitions. Okay, I hope I get this right.
Bringing in groceries in one trip. That was going to be my first pick as well, so that's a good pick. I'm going to go with something that I am very good at to start off with here. And part of it is due to increased technology in the time that I have been old enough to do this thing. Part of it has to do with just my genetics, I guess, and something that I'm good at doing. Parallel parking.
Ooh.
is an everyday task that I feel like people are very
That's tough,
competitive
too.
about, that I'm competitive about. When the pressure's on and you're in front of like an area where people are watching, I feel good about my ability to swivel myself in there, pull up just a little bit. Don't need to readjust at all.
One take
And
drink.
not everybody
I
can
never
do
had
that.
to take to it. That is something that I personally feel like I am good at. Of course, now that I've said that, someone's going to watch me park and watch me just have a bad day sometimes, so I put pressure on myself. But parallel parking, something I feel like people are very, very competitive about. So that is
even
my
think
number
about
one
that
pick.
Gotcha. That's a good one.
That's
Thank
a
you.
good one.
Thank you. Okay.
It's on me.
Mm-hmm.
This one is because it really does take effort. When you think about it, you hate it. It gives you anxiety.
Okay.
And while you're doing it, you realize, man, I'm breaking out into a daggone sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Mopping the floor.
That was on my list. It's a good
Mopping
one.
the floor.
Mop.
The core strength that you have to have, the arm strength to wring out the mop and everything. That
Oh, you
right
got
there.
old school mop.
Yeah, wow.
Well, look, if we gonna do it in the Olympics, like the track running hasn't changed, has it? Will we still start in the blocks? Do we not?
What do you mean?
We're doing the Olympics.
What does that have to do with mopping?
I'm just saying.
Technology's changed.
It has
You get one of
changed.
those steamers now.
You don't get a chance. No, you can't use the Dyson iRobot.
That was
No.
one of our wedding gifts that we're
Absolutely
very excited
not.
about is the steamer.
You can. You can.
Uh-huh.
The next one, washing the car.
Oh,
That one, if you're personally washing
That's
your
one that I
car,
never do.
You take so much pride in it.
That's true. That's a good
brake,
pick.
The brake dust, getting
Good
that
pick.
off, making sure the suds fall off. You don't have any watermarks on it. The Armor All finish in the end. The vacuuming out as well.
oh yeah.
Car
the wax,
wash.
The wax.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where you put your grind in there.
And that's when you park it
The
in the
elbow
garage,
grease, as they call it.
or you wash it when you know it's going to be at least 5 days of sun, no rain.
Yeah, you can't do it with that rain.
Come
It'll
on.
just go back to being dirty.
I take pride in washing the car. Like that is
Yeah, you do.
You got to pay.
do.
Like that is a welcome to manhood when you get an opportunity to wash the wheels.
okay.
I don't do that enough
don't do it at
because
all.
my garage gets my car so dirty that it just feels like it's a lot of work. And then 2 days later, I could see a ton of dust on my car. So it probably means I should wash it more.
I hate that.
But it turns out that I just wash it less because I just feel like I'm wasting my time.
I get that.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
wash
what it
my
is.
car because it seems like it's going to rain in a week. What's the point?
I know.
See what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So
I'm the
imagine
same
if
way.
you did it by yourself, though.
Gold
I'm the
medal for
exact
you,
same
sir.
way. Yeah. I'm going to go with now something I am terrible at. This is something that I am not capable of doing. And so then again, I just put it off. And that is folding clothes. I am really bad at folding clothes. I try to just go through it as quickly as I can just to get it over with. And I understand that anytime I am folding clothes and putting them away, it's going to have to go on the de-wrinkle setting on my dryer to just get all the wrinkles out. Terrible. I even worked in retail. Shout out Cool Springs Dick's Sporting Goods. I worked there as a summer job and Christmas break job for 2.5 years. There'd be people all the time like, have you ever done this before? Yeah, clearly not very well. Like I would work up at the front end. I'd be the cash register person. I've probably had so many of you that I've checked out while you've come through and everything. And people would make returns. So you fold it and put it. Or this girl being once just like, you know what? I'm just going to take care of that for you.
It wasn't
Just like, what do you do? How are you doing this?
Why
I was
are
like,
you
I
wadding
don't
it
know. I was at that point. I was like, I'm a 20-year-old guy. I don't know how to do this.
I'm gonna be real. You make that at Olympics. My mom used to make sure we were precise in how we folded clothes.
Terrible at it.
I'm talking about.
I
one of those
suck
folding
at
boards?
folding clothes.
Yeah, no, never had one of those. Sunday was
Like that would take a lot of time.
it would
Yeah.
setting it up on the board.
it's so much
oh.
Is it?
You just fold, done.
No.
Fold, done.
See, that works for regular people. It don't work for big and tall people. I'm just saying.
I never thought about that.
I don't have that
But
kind of issue.
growing up, Sunday was laundromat day
average
for us.
height.
We used to go to the laundromat when we have one in the house. And dog, let me tell you, legitimately, mama was huge on bath towels,
Yeah.
shirts,
Okay.
underwear got to be folded a certain way. I got to college, I
wow.
lost all of that. Now Keisha's like, you folded this? I just throw it in the cabinet.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's a
All right,
good
that's my
one.
second pick. Thank
That's
you.
a good one.
Thank you.
It's
Justin?
on Hawk.
All
got
right,
two
so
in a
this
row.
one I take pride in because it's fun. It's a fun chore, and sometimes it's not even a chore, it's just an escape, right? You get to go outside every Saturday, every Sunday, the sun beaming down, you get a little workout in, maybe put your sleeveless shirt on, put your headphones in.
Listen to The Zone.
Well, I mean, you're going to listen to Fox Sports at that point.
Well, Zone Podcast Network. What are you talking about?
That's true.
You post a lot of podcasts. People should listen to them.
Yep, you're right. I'll refrain from that. Anyways, you start the lawnmower up, and now you're going to go mow the yard for about a couple hours. You got to get your stripes down. You got to have nice, even
the lawn. Yeah. Your second pick.
This is what I do every Saturday.
We knew what the pick was about 30 seconds into your explanation.
Right.
3 words. Mow your lawn.
Yeah. Mowing the lawn. That's a good pick.
All right. The next one I'm going to do is something that you probably don't really think about, but it does require some time, some skill. It's you go to the store, you're setting up your apartment, your house, whatever. It's buying and assembling your furniture in your house. You got to build it. You got to put it together. You got to find where you want it in your house. So assembling your furniture and putting it together.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one right there.
I like it.
I'm going to hit you in the fields on this next one.
Well, it's not your pick, so be patient.
I'm so ready. I'm so hyped about this. This brings back memories from childhood, dog. You ever swept? Never mind.
Yeah, again, not your pick.
It's not
fine.
I'm eager.
You are eager. I'm going to go with something that you have to be respectful about, but it is an art. It is a skill, and certain people have the ability to make a trip shorter because they are good at weaving through traffic.
That is a good one.
Navigating traffic.
That's real.
There are certain people, you get in the car with them, and you know if there is a pile up in a right lane that's going slowly and then a little bit faster lane and then the 2 left lanes are going fast. Have you ever try to get on I-65 south off of 440 if you're like leaving Green Hills or going south to Brentwood, Franklin, Williamson County? You know exactly what I'm talking about. There are people who just, you know what, I don't want to battle it. I'm just going to sit in the right lane. I'm just going to crawl. People are going to cut me off and get there, but I don't want to be that person. Then there's like the middle ground of, you know what, I'm not going to totally cut everyone off right at the very end of this, but I'm, somewhere through the middle, maybe like 250 feet, 300 feet to where I need to get in the right lane. Someone will let me over. I'll be fine. That's kind of where I'm at. Then there are people that just leave it all the way to the very end, and the zipper merge means nothing to them. They're going to go all the way, and they're going to cut the line.
Ooh, that's me.
But they can pull it off. They can make it work, and they can get you point A to point B as fast as you possibly can. That is a skill. That is a sport. Weaving through traffic, navigating traffic on the highway, I think is a everyday task that feels like a sport.
That's a great one.
That's a real good one.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, now is your turn for 2 straight times.
All right. That was a solid one. I follow left lane agitators, man, to get people out of the way because of those folks that just want to.
I don't like either end of the extreme, by the way. I don't like just crawling and waiting. But I also don't like the person that just waits all the way to the end until the last 20 feet. They got to get off and then cuts everyone off because that just creates more traffic.
Yes, it does.
Then everybody has to stop now because you made everyone else stop. And then you also made the second to furthest right lane
65 north, getting on 386 Vietnam vets. Yes, I hate those people. Why is the right lane the slowest?
Be in the middle ground.
We're committed to getting off on 386.
Exactly.
Leave us alone.
That's exactly right.
All right, man. God, I almost went on a soapbox. I got a toughie. This one requires some strength and stamina. Mulching. Yes.
Okay.
Whether you're getting a truckload.
Does that not count under yard work? That's separate from just mowing the lawn?
Cutting grass can just be walking.
Okay.
Just the same way as weeding. Weed eating is its own sport as well. Mulching your flower beds.
All right.
Dog, I did volcano rocks one year in the back of my truck.
Wow.
Back.
Volcano rocks.
Back.
Okay.
My back was broken. Okay, is what I'm telling you. Mulching your flower beds is a job. All right. That one. And then the last one is we don't think much of. And I know you're deep into this lane too.
Okay.
Making a home cooked meal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even think about that.
Think about the way they make it look on your Reddit that you use, or like the
TikTok.
recipes, the TikToks that you use.
Oh, it never looks like that.
It's never that easy. Cutting up peppers, onions, mincing garlic.
I love doing
and
that.
then we got to cook the meat, get the sauce together.
Absolutely.
Add seasoning to it. Oh, and I forgot to boil the noodles. Think making a home cooked meal. Mm-hmm. That is an Olympic talent to me.
Okay.
So much so that they got shows about it.
Fair. All right. I thought this would probably fall to me. I thought of it as we began this. It was not on my board originally. But something I'm getting better at in my old age, as I approach 29, being able to sleep anywhere is a skill that feels like a sport.
That wins it.
I might develop that here soon.
Being able to sleep wherever you are, being a deep sleeper that can always, you know what, I can get a good hour and a half in on this flight. We take off to the time the lights come on. Sometimes it's to the time that I land.
Yep.
I'll put in white noise on my headphones or fire crackling sounds made my Apple Music Top 100 last year because I listened to it so much on planes. Because again, you listen to it for like 3 straight hours, put it on repeat, just fight. Fantastic. Does not sound like fire crackling, but being able to sleep anywhere is something I would be a gold medalist in.
There you go.
That's a good one. That's most definitely a talent.
I love sleep. Sleep and I are good friends. Good friends.
Hawk, what's your last one?
All right, let's close it off
to
with
get the honorable mentions.
Yeah, I've got a lot. I'm going to move to my honorable mentions because I want to do this one because this is a talent that I have just recently developed. And that is the art of what happens when you're a new dad. And that is changing diapers.
I'm surprised it took you this long to pick it, honestly.
He the only participant. We weren't taking it.
No, I've never changed a diaper in my life, so I wouldn't know.
And this was, well, probably now my 100th diaper that I have changed in the last week or whatever it is. Changing the diaper is an art. It is a skill. You have to do it while they are calm, cool, collective, and try not to get all fussy. And you have to do it. It has to be the right tightness. It can't be too loose. Otherwise, you'll have some.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you'll have some messy instances.
Hey,
and we don't mean Lionel.
Bro barely even in it. He ain't had a baby blowout yet, man. Wait till you have a blowout in public, in his clothes.
Well, my wife said today, she already texted me today. She said he had a blowout today. So,
there you go.
Look at you sneaking away from parenthood at work.
So, yeah, I'm going to go diaper changing as my 4th pick.
I'm with you there.
It's a good one. I figured it would be picked. All right, so Justin's 4 on everyday tasks that feel like sports, bringing in groceries in one trip, mowing the lawn, assembling furniture, and changing diapers. I've got parallel parking, folding clothes, weaving through traffic, and being able to sleep anywhere. Ramon has mopping the floor, washing your car, mulching, and making a home-cooked meal. This went well.
It is.
I think this was a successful draft.
I can't wait.
And there's still so many
honorable
that's
mentions.
not even been said.
What did we miss? 615-737-1045. The chore you are so good at, you feel like you're a gold medalist in it. Next. So we just did a snake draft of everyday tasks that feel like sports, and we have completely loaded phone lines. We have one line open. If you want to get in here and talk about what we missed, we'll start with Uncle Bob in Spring Hill. What's up, Uncle Bob?
What's up, Uncle Bob?
Hey guys, hey, morning, Ramon.
Morning.
Hey, we are on the serpents. Now, it's scriptural. We're to step on their head. But one of my favorite scriptures is Adam said, "Lord, it's that woman you gave me."
Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
sir.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you going to do? You can't live with him. You can't live without him. Anyway,
You cannot.
Anyway.
Absolutely not.
Anyway, step on that thing's head, and I'm always listening and love y'all so much.
Love you too, Uncle Bob.
Thank
you
you,
be
Bob.
safe and stay cool out here, good brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you bowling in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. I heard you call in the other day, say you're gonna be at the bowling bash that Buck show's gonna have. Man, I might show up.
That's a week away, right?
I think so.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna see you there.
All right.
Then.
Yeah, God bless y'all now.
Bless you.
Thank
Same
you,
to
Bob.
you, sir.
Hey, Bob. Hey, what's up?
I love Bob. I just want to drive. I wish he'd have kept the Porsche.
Great guy. We love Bob. Love Uncle Bob. Daryl in the borough. Everyday tasks that feel like sports. What's up, Daryl?
What's up, Daryl?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I put it in the chat, and I just got back to my phone, so I'm not sure if it was mentioned, but putting sheets and covers back on the bed.
Oh, such a good one. Oh, my gosh. How did that not make our
Put
list?
the mattress and put the fitted sheet and then tuck in everything, and then, yeah.
You're preaching my wife's sermon, okay? I'm a fitted sheet only guy. She's like, what? You only sleep with the fitted sheet? That was one of our, I was just like, why do I need to go through this obstacle of figuring out the flat sheet? I would only do the fitted. That thing, I would throw it in the corner. The flat sheet?
Wow.
Absolutely
I
not.
didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you,
even-
Daryl.
Hey, speaking about fitted sheet, even folding the fitted sheet.
That's where I was about to go.
Fair.
Folding a fitted sheet.
How
is a
do you
talent.
fold a fitted sheet? I just ball it up.
I was gonna say you don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
TikTok videos.
Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it, Daryl.
Good stuff.
Solid.
Very good one. I have the problem. I've had this problem since, forever. My fitted sheet always pops off on the corner. like in the middle of the night.
Too small then. Or
Like
you
I'll
roll
wake
a
up.
lot.
No, but like I've done like the oversized ones. I got this band on Amazon where you could keep it attached, but then that's like annoying. You've got to like take it off. You wash sheets. You got to put it back on. There's like clamps you can use. For the life of me,
I don't want to sound too bougie.
Uh-oh.
what?
Get a higher thread count. It'll help fit better.
All right. Well,
I told you.
some of us have to be our own thread counts.
I use
quote,
bamboo
for those who don't
sheets.
Yeah, I like the bamboo. The textures are the problem. Literally since college, I've had like 3 or 4 different types of bed sheets, and they always. I guess I just move around too
Stop
much in
getting
the
the
middle of the night.
Walmart mainstays, man. Get
I
you-
don't. I've gotten I've invested in nice sheets. Corner. It's nothing worse than hearing that sound. Like you go a nice long day. Put your head in the pillow. Boom. The heck.
Who
Joey
else we got?
is up next. Hey, Joey.
What's up, Joey?
Whatever, Ramon Will. So my choice is doing the dishes, whether by hand or in the
that's a good one.
dishwasher. Because, doing by hand, that's fine. But putting them in the dishwasher, it's almost like playing Tetris. You got to get them in there just right so they all get clean.
It's true.
You don't have to worry about, any food residue or anything left on them. So that's my choice for today.
I agree with
Solid.
that one. We
Solid.
don't use our
Thank you,
dishwasher
Joey.
enough in the house. We're hand washers.
We are more now that we have received very generous wedding gifts that can't be put in the dishwasher, which is great.
It is great.
But do you get more nice appliances to be able to cook stuff, and you can't just chuck it in there somewhere and make it fit the dishwasher?
No.
I used to exclusively hand wash things. I would never use the dishwasher, but I'm a big dishwasher guy.
We might have used our dishwasher maybe under 10 times in our house.
Ever?
We've been there since 2018.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we're hand washers.
If you do a lot of cooking, you don't just throw any of it in there. You all Just hand wash it?
Mostly. Like I said, we're
That's gonna
probably
take
under
you
I
10
used to be that way
uses.
It's
too.
going to take you like 30,
Yeah.
45 minutes to clean all that.
Well, that's
Otherwise, it takes 30, 45 minutes in the
That's why it's
dishwasher.
an Olympic sport.
But
in
you don't
our
have
house.
to. You don't have to unload the dishwasher because that in and of itself is also another one.
That might be worse.
The what I hate too.
Oh, I'd rather unload.
How do you not have like wet dishes coming out of the dishwasher still? Like that's the thing that bugs me. It's like you take stuff out of the dishwasher and it's like still wet.
Still
and then
wa-
you're like pick it up and then it like spills like water from the dishwasher all over you.
Depends on if they have a little bit of a lip, because then the water will catch there and the steam won't kind of like make it all evaporate.
Okay.
It's like we have some of these cups at our house that have a little bit of a dip on the bottom, and then that water just stays there.
B_J on YouTube says, longtime flat sheet hater, just checking in.
Appreciate you.
There are many of you. Ramon.
Appreciate you. Yes, it is. B.
I kick mine off.
We are same. We are the same people.
Jeremy in Nashville is next. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, good morning, guys. I was going to say changing your brakes and oil on your car, because I'll try to change my wife's and mine in the same day, and I'll have the filters and everything, and I'll try to time it, see how quick I can get it all done. Get it all done within.
That's a
get it all
solid
done with under an hour.
No, that's solid right there. I see. That's one thing I didn't learn from my granddad. I wish I had him.
Jeremy,
was oil changing.
When did you learn how to do that? Like, how old were you when you learned how to do like change oil and brakes and stuff?
14, 15 years old.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay,
That's about right. And apparently, like oil changing, it's getting the nut out of the oil reserve and changing the filter, like putting oil around the ring, putting it back up, and refilling it.
I learned how
thank
to
you,
do that
Jeremy.
last
Appreciate
year.
the call.
Appreciate that. That's a good one.
I started changing my oil on the cars last year.
I don't trust myself.
You YouTube it?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that
Yeah.
be the
So
case.
it worked.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
put it up on like a ramp.
Yep. I've got 2 little ramps for each of the front tires.
Is this on your new car?
I haven't changed the new car yet.
Yeah, new car
is this
oil
what was
changes
wrong
are
with the old
wrong,
car?
by the way.
No,
do it
the old
wrong?
car was just had transmission issues.
Are y'all okay with how long you can go without an oil change in new cars? It's like 7,500 to 10,000. Like Keisha's truck is
Really?
10,000 miles.
I was trying to go like once a year.
That's the new technology.
oh.
So you use synthetic?
Most of them are anyway.
Okay.
I don't
All right, yeah,
trust
most of
myself
them
to do the brakes and the oil correctly. I'd be
Brakes.
going down a hill and just have nightmares of.
The proper mileage is 5,000,
Yeah.
but you can go longer.
My mother-in-law's
It's
a
really
year.
5,000 or 6 months.
Wow.
Our Volkswagen's a year.
Okay.
Dang.
Bob and Gallatin, everyday tasks that feel like sports. What's up, Bob?
What's up, Bob?
Bob, go ahead.
You got me?
Yeah, we got
got
you.
you.
me?
Yep,
Yes, sir.
yep.
No, I told him I was in Dawson. My bad.
Okay, all good.
Dang foam.
I got one that turns into a competition when you've got your full-grown lab and your little bitty Aussie trying to walk them both together, trying to hold that competition down to see who wants to be in the lead.
That's a great one.
That's a great one.
I like that.
Yes, it is. I like that one, too. I see people get dragged by
Thank
their
you, Bob.
dogs, and it's because of the inherited competition, Bob. I didn't even think about that.
Appreciate the
I'll add
call.
one more to you, Bob, since you got 2 dogs. Poop scooping in the backyard. Picking up bags of poop in the backyard. It's either that or run into what I call a poop bomb in the backyard.
Yeah, you gotta be lucky and find them all.
That's the other part.
Because I pick up before I mow the yard.
Brian of the Borough is next. Hey, Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Good morning, fellas.
Morning.
Morning.
How y'all doing?
We're
Good.
good,
How are you?
man. Hoping you have a good one this morning, too.
Going great so far. God's good.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, it may not be an Olympic sport, but, man, at my home, it's become like this mission impossible challenge that has to be handled, and that's the trash situation because, trash pickup comes once a week.
Oh, yeah.
And from the time trash pickup comes at our house on Monday morning until the next Monday morning, that's a long time. And there's an awful lot of Amazon boxes coming to our house
Yes.
every day, and FedEx and UPS and all the others. And so I've learned how to become a master at breaking down cardboard boxes, man,
Yes.
shredding them things up and putting them in the trash so that you don't have to worry about making extra trash runs to the city dump during the week between pickups.
Do you
I like that
also
one a
have
lot,
to get
Brian.
it back to the house? Because I know in Sumner County, you got to also bring your can back to the house within a certain time limit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the call.
It's a great one, bro.
That is one that somewhere my lovely wife, Peyton, is nodding her head and agreeing.
Trash.
She knows I'm very bad at in a timely manner breaking down all of our boxes and as much stuff as we get delivered. And again, through the very generous wedding gifts that we've received. We've had a lot more boxes than usual to break down recently, and that is something that I hate. I hate breaking down boxes. I don't know what it is. I do not enjoy it.
Because you can cut yourself, too, if you do it wrong.
I also, too, I was terrible in high school we lived on a steep hill, taking down the garbage cans, like, before I went to school. It was a rule of, like, on garbage day, you've got to take these down before you can go to school. Like, well, I'm already late. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
You're going to be even later now, which was fair, to be fair.
Right.
But, yeah. Brian in Brentwood gets the last call. Everyday tasks that feel like sports. What's up, Brian?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm going a little old school with my mama because she would make me vacuum the carpet, and it had to have perfect lines. If it wasn't perfect, she'd make me do it again.
Are you serious? So did Mom work
Perfect
somewhere
lines
that
vacuum.
made this a thing, or did she just like the look of it and made you do it?
Not only did she just like the look of it, I couldn't walk on it after I did it. I had to go back to my room or in the kitchen.
Wow.
Imagine that. The ground is lava, basically, in the living room.
It was a chore I hated, but I kind of got used to it, and guess what? I taught my kids to do the same.
There you go. Pass it down.
See?
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the
That's
call.
all it is.
Good stuff.
That's good stuff. You got
This is good.
You got a quick list of yours?
No, you all go ahead.
I got a quick
Undrafted
list.
picks. What did not make the
Undrafted
list?
picks are baseboard cleaning, sweeping, dishwashing, which we've had, window cleaning, toilet cleaning, weed eating, decluttering, and pressure washing.
All things I'm
That's like
terrible at.
the whole list.
That is the whole list.
I was going to say
Did you leave
spring
anything else?
cleaning
I told
because that's just a chore in and of itself. But like reorganizing the garage after it gets too cluttered is a almost weekend full chore.
Yes, it is. The garage.
Yeah, the garage.
Fair.
Yep.
I would say the other one, I can't think of how exactly how to say it, but like getting through a workout or like a gym routine efficiently. Like you've got your routine of like, I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go there, then I'm going to go upstairs, then next to that I'm going to do this.
Stations.
And then I'm going to get out of there.
Gym station.
Where you're not just like sitting and you don't know where to go or like you're walking around aimlessly, like understanding how to like get a workout in.
Or not
It's very
backtracking.
broad,
He's
but
going to start drawing a map.
there
of
is a
like,
skill
I'm
to
gonna
it.
go here,
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
He's
I
got
agree.
blueprints.
And not everyone has it. And people who sit on their phones on machines and there's only one of them, there's a special place downstairs for you.
Shame on you.
Downstairs in the gym at the phone area. Or also maybe, I don't know, I'm not going to get that
Don't do
morbid.
it.
615-737-1045. I'm kidding. Coming up, ESPN has a list of the top edge rushers of the NFL. How many of them will play the Tennessee Titans in 2026? We'll tell you that next. Hey, it's Will Boulding for my friends at Lee Company. Is your home's air conditioning keeping up this summer? Unfortunately, you might have had the wrong answer on that over the past couple of weeks. As hot as things have been here in Middle Tennessee, Lee Company has you covered. Their team of professional technicians will give your home's AC a tune-up as well as seasonal cleaning and maintenance to help you stay ahead of the heat and humidity outside. Don't let your AC fail this summer. Head on over to leecompany.com to schedule your appointment today. That's leecompany.com, from the company that has over 80 years of experience serving Middle Tennessee. And I love working with Lee Company because when you are taking care of things around the house, they can take care of all of it. Your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical systems, you name it, they can fix it. So don't let your AC fail this summer. Head on over to leecompany.com to schedule your appointment today. That's Lee Company, all you need.
9:03. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Some Nashville Soccer Club news yesterday. Forward Sam Surridge was named to the 2026 MLS All-Star team. It's his second consecutive season to be named to the All-Star. Nashville leads the MLS with 4 All-Stars. That also includes previously announced first 11 selections in Hani Mukhtar, Andy Nahar, and Brian Schwacke. Some Major League Baseball news. Pitcher Justin Verlander announced on Wednesday he's retiring at the end of the 2026 MLB season. The 43-year-old is playing in his 21st season, has a long resume that includes 266 regular season wins, over 3,500 strikeouts, 3 Cy Young Awards, 2 World Series championships, as well as an MVP award. And coming up today, the World Cup quarterfinals begin as France takes on Morocco at 3 p.m. on Fox. In Foxborough, it's a rematch of the 2022 World Cup that took place in Qatar. It was a semifinal when France beat Morocco 2-0. France is looking for their 3rd consecutive World Cup semifinal appearance. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the 4th and final hour on Friday Junior. Hope you're having a good start to your Thursday morning. 615-737-1045. Maybe you were like me and you were the meme of Pablo Escobar from Narcos, just sitting around doing nothing with no World Cup to watch yesterday. Thankfully, that'll change today as France takes on Morocco.
Well, you could also tune into Wimbledon that's going on.
I did, actually. I napped right through it. My eyelids loved Wimbledon yesterday. I've never watched a tennis match I can't sleep through.
There you go. Sleep anytime, anywhere.
You fall asleep during the first set. You hear the during the second set as they hit the ball back and forth. Yeah. And then you wake up just in time for the third set and go, at the end of every point.
Coco Gauff and whoever Muchova is right now are in a back and forth. Come on, Coco. That's it. You knew it.
This is why we had television privileges taken away
why I was
from
taken
us
right there.
104.5 The Sun Studios.
With that being said, let's speak about what Wimbledon is. There was one person I did not want to see go through with it as far as trying to come out of it. It's Serena Williams. In my personal opinion, I get the athletic itch. We all have it. Will, I'm sure, no, you've been very adamant about, hey, you will not run in competition again.
Well, I won't do my sport again, but I still do have an athletic itch. As
the itch.
Former Tennessee athlete that's very non-athletic.
And I think sometimes we get a lot of leeway when we're good at it, or, hey, I think I
need a project.
Yeah, well, you need a project.
Yeah.
I personally did not want Serena Williams to scratch that itch for Wimbledon.
Sure.
She did exactly what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
One, she was out of singles quickly.
Right.
And then when it came down to the team tandem that they had, or the pairs, she had to pull out again because Father Times, it will whoop us all. And she had a knee injury that kind of ballooned into a bigger problem and had to withdraw from the match. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you're good. You don't have to already. It's like everybody begging Tom Brady to come back to football. For what? Tom doesn't need to come back. Like, if Aaron Donald chooses not to come back to the NFL, good. The legend is secured. There is absolutely zero thing that you have to prove when it comes down to how good you are or what people are going to think of the end of your career.
Sure.
That's my 2 cents. I hated that for Serena.
That's fair.
She did it to herself, though.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I do have 2 episodes left in that show I was telling you about. I Will Find You.
Yeah.
It's getting even better.
Elite.
So that's how I spent my time yesterday. After I fixed my iron swing, I said I was going to do that yesterday, and I achieved it.
And you knocked it out the park is what you told me, too.
I did.
Good.
I did.
How long was the park?
What? What do you mean?
Let it breathe. Let it breathe.
He said you knocked it out
Baby
of the park.
T-Hawk is winning.
I asked how long the park was.
That's all I'm saying. Baby T-Hawk is winning this one.
That was
Yeah,
a
sure
sleep-deprived joke.
It was.
He sure is.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
but
I see what
it's a
you're coming from.
sleep-deprived joke.
You know, rock yourself to sleep a little bit more. You my dog, though.
I have to walk myself to sleep.
That's fair.
On the last topic we had about tasks around the house, Stoney Keeley, resident homie of ours,
Absolutely.
put my wife and I are in this heated competition of how many pairs of shoes can she leave in the living room before I clean them all
See,
up.
my wife and I are having, it's still so fun to say, Peyton and I are having the same competition except flipped. I'm the one leaving the shoes everywhere.
All right.
Yeah.
You on the timer, just so you know.
No, I'm telling on myself. It's okay. Telling on myself.
You are on a timer, just so you know.
I know.
It's going to be at some point where the training kicks in.
Yeah. What did Big Boss Bert had a submission, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He said, let me get it correctly. Big Boss Bert's submission was, worse than mulching is shaking pine needles. He said the thing about them, they come in a bell, usually a square bell or with ropes with straw around them. And he said you can't just like wave them out and place it. You got to pick them and throw it and toss it on it. And I've never done that one. Baling hay is another one that could have easily won.
You know who's going to be great on this tomorrow morning is Brent Hubbs, talking about the everyday tasks or the things around his farm as he's literally like picking beans while he's literally talking to us every Friday at 7:20. If you've never noticed what the background noises are.
Yeah.
Because from time to time, he'll see our draft topics and then weigh in the next day. And so I think this is one that he'll be ready for.
You ever been in a position where you've like picked a home garden?
We used to have tomato plants.
Okay.
On our like back deck, but that was really a garden. Like those were like in the pots.
No doubt.
It wasn't like a go out in the backyard and pick stuff. Yeah. We would go blueberry picking though every summer.
Yeah, I've picked before.
Pick blueberries, freeze them, put them in Cheerios for breakfasts. So good.
Man, my granddad had a garden. He made us pick purple hull peas for the entire Tipton County. Do you hear me?
Really?
Take your mama some, grandboy. I'm like, granddaddy, we don't even take your grand.
I love how you embrace your southern accent, by the way, too, when you start saying things like that. You just got 80% more Ripley the second you started talking about that.
We used to try to beat him at like the bushels, basically, that he would ask us to pick, and we would fluff the pot with the peas. And he would see us, I guess, and we walk over, here you go, granddad, here's a bucket right here. And he would put his big old paw on it and mash it down and say, you know what? Fill it up again. And, man, there is no getting around that old generation at all.
Daryl in the Borough with another good submission on YouTube says, painting your own house, especially a kitchen or bathroom.
Yeah.
Another sport.
Around the sink.
Or power washing your house.
Yeah, that too.
Not the one up you, Daryl. Wallpapering.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Very true.
I don't think I want to do that.
I've wallpapered a double wide trailer numerous times. Do you hear me?
My sister with a submission, Claire, shout out.
Shout out, Claire, the
says
homie.
Pest control is an everyday task that is a chore.
That sure is an everyday task.
Like catching like the bugs, like rodents and stuff, like making sure like your pest control is in good shape before you have to call someone.
Yep.
That's a very good one.
Been there for that one too. You ever had to catch a mouse in your house? Or garage?
We did at one point, yeah. Well, in our fraternity house in college, we had a ton of mice.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Freaking nasty guys.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, for
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Hand raised was probably part of the problem. Yeah, definitely. You live with 40 dudes, it's bound to happen.
Okay, real quick, let's go morbid. Since you said running over snake heads earlier, glue traps. If they're still squealing, do you put them in the trash?
I don't.
Dispatch them?
I don't remember what we did.
We do glue traps. And let me tell you, when they're in college, we lived at Woodgate. It's an older apartment complex.
Probably is a apartment building.
And listen to me, the lady next door owned a snake. She owned a python, so she was feeding it mice
on purpose.
Yes,
owned a snake
crazy,
on purpose.
Like she was Slovenian, if I'm not mistaken. Just crazy thick accent as well. And the mice that she was buying from the pet store got out, and they were eating eating the outside of our fresh fruit. And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I'd be ready to fight.
We were. We put in glue traps and catch them. And like by the morning, it'd be one on there, of course, because they roll around at nighttime. And I would just toss them into the dumpster.
Yeah, what else are you supposed to do?
I guess. I don't know if that's inhumane or whatever the case may be.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Because I can go get a BB gun and pop it in the back of the head, but I don't want to go that far. Glue trap's already done the job.
That might be inhumane.
Yeah, that's probably a bit.
It's not getting off the glue trap.
We're about to be PETA's least favorite show.
Good. I'm going to have a steak tonight.
There. List at ESPN.com. Top edge rushers in the NFL. Titans will see 6 of them this upcoming season. Will Anderson Jr., Max Crosby, Aiden Hutchinson, Daniil Hunter, TJ Watt, and Brian Burns. 6 guys on the top 10 list that executive coaches and scouts say will be on the Titans schedule. Here's another thing I thought was interesting. I went through last night. Top 10 edge rushers in the league. I wanted to see what the total defense statistics were for each of the teams represented. Because when we talk about edge rushers, I feel like it is the most valuable position on defense, the way that quarterback is on offense. It's the closest thing that we have, in my opinion, because it most closely impacts quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. Myles Garrett's number 1. Browns last year at number 4 total defense in the NFL. Micah Parsons, number 2. Packers, number 12 total defense last year in the NFL. Will Anderson Jr., ranked 3rd, number 1 total defense last year in the NFL, Houston Texans. Max Crosby, Raiders, number 14 total defense in the NFL. Aiden Hutchinson, number 5 of this list. Lions were 18th in total defense. They were the walking wounded by the end of the season. Everybody was hurt.
And he lost another body this year.
Daniil Hunter, number 6, number 1 total defense. TJ Watt, number 7. Steelers were number 26 in total defense last year.
Like it.
And he was hurt for a little bit. He also wasn't as good last year. He's probably worst year of his career, late in his career. Nick Bosa, hurt the whole season. 49ers 20th in total defense. That one makes sense. Brian Burns, the exception. The only defense that wasn't good that has a player on this list. They were 28th, the Giants, in total defense last year. And then Nick Bonito in Denver, the number 2 total defense in the league. I mean, it's not exactly breaking news, but it's laid out for you right there. There is a 1-to-1 correlation. There's a pretty strong tie. If you've got a premier edge rusher, top 10 edge rusher, you're probably pretty good at defense as a team.
And even still, too, you look at the teams that had numerous guys like Nick Bonito only had 1 edge on the player, but they also had really good play from John Frank Lamar and Patrick Surtain as well. Like, the bodies matter. Talent matters.
Right, it's not just edge rusher.
But no, what I'm saying about, like, look at, of course, Houston. They got 2 on this list. Number 1 defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it correlates.
You want to be good at defense. Be good at rushing the quarterback.
No doubt about it, man.
It's just a simple principle in this sport from, I don't know, the Brentwood Blaze level all the way up to the Tennessee Titans level.
It checks out at every level.
Mm-hmm.
It truly does.
So going back to our first hour, I think that's the bigger concern about Tennessee this year. For me, more so than quarterback.
I agree.
Can you affect the quarterback?
Because I ain't gonna say you can cover for the quarterback, but you can support him a whole lot better than the trash side of your defense.
There's just only so much you can do if you can't get pressure with 4.
No doubt.
As a defensive coach and defensive coordinator.
I mean, it puts stress on everybody else, and there's only so much time if you can't get home that they can hold up on the back end.
It sure does. Sure does. Coming up, Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports joins us. We'll talk Titans with him. We'll let him in on the conversation we had an hour or 2 if you were not up with us that early. What is the most important statistic for evaluating Cam Ward in year 2 as the starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans? Easton Freeze answers that and much more coming up next. Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone in hour 4 on this sunny Thursday. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, joined by our good friend Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports, talking a little Titans in these barren content streets in the middle of July. Good morning, Easton. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. How we doing?
Good morning.
We're good. What is the everyday task, Easton, that is a sport to you? We just did a snake draft of this, and I'm curious where you would begin as if you were giving yourself a gold medal in like an everyday task or chore.
Man, that's a great question.
Go ahead.
Let me noodle on that and answer at the end.
All right. Well, that's very fair. We accept.
Exactly how we
allow.
were doing. Yeah, we gave it time.
The hour before that, Easton, we did a topic that I told you a little bit about last night. What is the stat that matters most for Cam Ward? While I'm also obviously understanding context matters, stats aren't everything, numbers do lie. But for you, if you were picking one way to evaluate Cam this upcoming season, what matters most to you?
The kind of unfair cop-out answer is just EPA per play, because that means he's generally better at football.
Sure.
The more specific answer would be, I would probably do on-target throw rate or catchable pass rate, which I think is more specific to what I want to see from him than just general completion percentage. We talked about this with Shea Tierney, the Titans quarterback coach, near the end of the spring program, and he gave a pretty good dissertation at the podium on how what accuracy actually means for a quarterback, and how it is dictated by what you're being asked to do, and the difficulty of the throws and the intent of the plays, and how completion percentage can lie on a regular basis. And so I do think that Cam's accuracy needs to improve. I think everybody agrees on that. But generally speaking, I just want to see him throw more catchable balls. And in particular, I want to see him improve when it comes to passes that require a little bit of touch. PFF's QB annual came out yesterday, and there's a bunch of nerdy stats in there. And one of the things that stood out to me, not that it was surprising, but to see it quantified in there, was that on the types of passes they charted that require that involve the quarterback leading a receiver with pace, so passes down the seam, over the top, that they classified it as passes being led horizontally and led vertically. So we're talking about, like, Chigakonkwo screaming up the seam in the Broncos Week 1 game last year, and Cam throwing a dart at him, like those kind of passes. And then Calvin Ridley running an out-breaking route to the sideline and throwing a dart to him right there to toe tap in, like those kind of plays. Cam Ward is much better at that than he is at dropping the ball in a bucket or throwing to the back shoulder. And that's not, that is incredibly common for rookie quarterbacks to not have the world's best touch. He just has to take a leap in that area, and so that's what I'd go with.
Did you see Easton improvement in that category from him during the spring offseason program, or for you is it just more of the same from what we saw in his rookie season?
Yeah, I can't honestly say I saw improvement. It's one of those things where the entire spring practice was neither encouraging or discouraging to me. It just was. Mm-hmm. And I want to see him when we get the pads on. I want to see him when he has a better grasp of the offense, because that's one of the things that's really hard to bake into the spring program, as he's trying to crash course the new situation just like everybody else is. There's a learning curve for him, maybe more of one than for other positions. And so my expectations are a little bit postponed to what we're going to see here at the end of this month and in August. If I don't see some improvement in those areas with his new receivers in a couple of weeks, that will actually mean something to me. The fact that I didn't see it in the spring, I'm not that moved by that.
Joined by Easton Freeze this morning, A to Z Sports. Easton, with that being said, too, we went through our points of what Cam need to improve upon. Man, where are you at on the fumbles? more than the interception, because if you're a gunslinger, man, the ball is going to get picked off. Wide receivers on the same routes and stuff like that. What steps or have that been emphasized much this spring as you guys have seen them and talked to Coach Dable about that issue in this game?
Well, it's definitely an emphasis because we know that Cam has smaller hands, and the fumble thing was an issue for him in college, and it was an issue again last year in his rookie year. Now, I wouldn't call it a federal issue, but it was something that a couple of times during the year we all have memories of being like, oh, that looked, frankly, it kind of looked Will Levis-y at times. It's the only time that I was ever like, that's the other guy. We don't want to see that from Cam Ward. I don't know how you fix that when you have the size hands that he has, besides just really drilling ball security. And when you're somebody like Cam, who not only likes but actively thrives in scramble drill and navigating the pocket and creating time for yourself to get the ball downfield, you don't want to take those parts of his game away in the name of ball security, right? Like, if he's going to be awesome at those things and get blindside strip sacked a couple of times during the year, that's probably a trade-off I'm willing to make. He just needs to really drill the fundamentals of when to have two hands on the ball, how to keep the ball close to your frame, exercising your hands and getting your grip strength up. Like, these are all things that are going to help that. But I think you're probably lying to yourself if you think that Cam Ward is ever going to be like an elite ball security guy. And that's really just a matter of the way that he plays and the size of his hands.
No doubt. Easton, the other side of this, too, is an inherited, I guess, pressure that comes along with having Brian Dable as your head coach. He has a track record of being able to correct or get the most out of young quarterbacks in the NFL. How much of that matters with how Cam is going to be viewed? Because, again, from year one, we can say year one was just a debacle when it comes down to coaching staff, play calling, team wasn't as good as it should have been in general with the talent that they have, and that's been elevated now. When you look at, similar situations around the NFL, Bryce Young is who we spoke about earlier, and just it's almost eerie with how connected they are in their year one performances. I think their completion percentage was the same. Bryce also had 11 fumbles on the season, but he had 2 game-winning drives, and that's the part of the game in which you hope Dable helps Cam get to that point. Will and I spoke about it earlier. It's like he's got to have moments. Like, that's what makes a franchise quarterback him, the game-winning drives, the big plays. How much of that is going to be scrutinized with his attachment to Dable and what he's been able to get out of other quarterbacks in this league, you think?
It's impossible to avoid the added pressure of Dable. We know what his reputation is. We know that his track record precedes him. We know that he was a desirable guy, not just for coordinating jobs, but for some head coaching jobs this winter before he ended up coming to the Titans. So it is an added pressure. My question is how much added pressure is it on Cam versus pressure on Dable to produce? Because he's the one that brings in the expectations. And so I do wonder if and when things go a little bit sideways, who the angry mob will gravitate towards. My history of watching the NFL tells me it's probably going to be the coach, because coaches are way easier to blame and it's more unfalsifiable because they're not the ones actually on the field. And it also makes fans feel better in their tummies because the idea of your quarterback stinking hurts a lot more inside than the idea of your coach stinking, because it's a lot easier to replace one than the other. So that's the part of that I'll be fascinated by. Ultimately, I think that the bar has been set so low by the past 4 seasons, from the end of the Vrabel era all the way through, offensively, that the good news for Dable is he doesn't have to come light the world on fire to get the benefit of the doubt early, because he does have a reputation and fans do have an implicit level of trust in him. So if he just does enough early on this year for us to point to and say, hey, maybe they're not winning the games, maybe there's some really ugly spots, maybe there's some real rust and growing pains that fans convince themselves they're at off, is like, well, there's a lot of newness here and the team's still growing, let's be patient. If he just shows enough things that we can point to, specific plays, specific drives, and say, hey, there's Brian Dable's impact and Cam Ward is benefiting from this new situation, then I think things will be fine.
Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Easton, what is the biggest problem spot on this roster that's not offensive line related, in your opinion? Or is there a spot that's the most?
Now I have to think. Because I just had such an it was the layup question of all time there.
Or do you want to give your household task that's a sport first while you think about that?
No. I'm still noodling on that.
Okay, perfect.
The non-O-line problem spot.
Mm-hmm.
I hesitate to call the edge position a problem because of how good the front is as a whole. And I do think in the modern NFL, we just saw the Super Bowl winner get away with not having elite edge play. You don't need elite edge play to be a suffocating defense. It's a great place to start, and I think your ceiling is raised to a level that you can't get to without elite edge play if you have those guys. But the fact that they don't have that true edge one, they don't have a true starting speed rusher guy to just scream off the edge and be a real problem, I could see that being an issue against certain offensive lines. The secondary's depth is the other thing that comes to mind, because I like the three safeties they have kind of slotted in for primary roles on the defense, but I do think you're kind of one safety injury away from disaster. And then at cornerback, you're bringing in you've got a day three second-year player you're trusting in the slot who has shown me some flashes but still has to, prove himself. And you brought in two free agents who you paid a lot of money to, who I think are very good football players, but with free agents, you just never know. And with cornerbacks, in terms of health, you just never know. And I think the depth at both of those positions is concerning. So those are the first things that come to mind.
Sure. Makes sense to me.
Yes, it does. When you look at as far as this roster goes, it's not asking who's the team or the unit that's most problematic. The question I have to you: who's got the hardest job when it comes down to picking their 5 to 7 players on this team? And one of them numbers are short. Randy Jordan with the running backs or Greg Lewis with the wide receivers. I mean, I think we can guess 5 of the wide receivers, but you need more.
Right.
And then when it comes down to running backs, there's a lot of young talent. There's also veteran presence on this team as well. Which one has got the hardest task, you think?
That's a great question, because you're right that both position groups, the top names are very obvious. It really is just a classic August depth conversation that we're just going to beat into the ground here in a couple of weeks. And you know what? Based on the news cycle the past 5 months, I welcome it with open arms. This has been the worst offseason of news. It's just been TMZ at every turn. So I'm more than happy to do the scrub talk for a month thing. I'll say it's Randy Jordan, because you keep less running backs. I think the guys he's deciding between are more likely to have an active impact on the team, because the back of both of these position groups, you're heavily considering special teams. And so both guys aren't just having to convince, the head coach and themselves of who to keep. They're in, Bones' office being like, hey, who are the guys that you can use most? Because that's who's going to win these jobs. With the running backs, is Khalil Mullings just cooked? He feels like a guy that has been systematically pushed out of the picture, really of no fault of his own, besides being injured early last year and not getting on his horse until things were already a lost cause. When he did play last year in a lot of meaningless spots, I felt like I saw more than enough from him to say, I'm curious to see what he looks like in year 2. But the way that they built out this room, adding Michael Carter and bringing in the rookie draft pick, where's his spot? What's his role?
Yeah.
Well, I think Easton, too, to that point, you have more defensive special teams guys, too, where, you are also battling with Mahmoud Diabate, and you are battling with Dorian Mausi, who, as you know, the coaches have brought up as being a better linebacker at this point. You're battling with David Martin Robinson, who all of a sudden is not only looking at Kylan Granson, but looking at safeties and Kendall Brooks. That's where the roster gymnastics, as you know, becomes so interesting, is you have running backs competing with tight ends and linebackers and safeties just to be on teams.
And Bones needs his special teams guys. That's the other component of it as well, is there are numerous athletic bodies at all of those positions. And one, they want to play their position. Running backs want to run. Tight ends want to pass catch. Wide receivers want to catch the ball. But then also you got to play special teams. And that's where the questions of KJ Osborne, Xavier Restrepo.
I was about to say Restrepo, yeah. We can't believe we went 16 minutes without a Restrepo mention.
Because Easton...
I mean, honestly.
Because Easton, you talk about drumming up dust in articles and conversation, but if Restrepo continues what he did, I feel like we're having a conversation, not an interview at this point. I feel like if Restrepo continues to do what he did in the OTAs and minicamp, making wide receiver plays, the question becomes, he's not your starter. Do you keep him on the 53 for special teams, or do you deny the fact that he might make plays in preseason?
I am planning on spending more time intentionally watching the special teams period next month than I ever have, which is going to be hard. You guys are at these practices, it's a little bit of a chore. It's a little bit of like trying to interpret a foreign language a little bit, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm some special teams expert, but just kind of figuring out who Bones is using where and how often. That's a portion of the way that all these practices are structured. That's kind of like social hour and settle in hour. We all kind of just, or go watch the quarterbacks throw the ball into the net for the 47th time. But I do think that period, in terms of predicting what's going to happen on roster cutdown day, is, it's got to be the most underrated period that we don't really pay attention to. With a guy like Restrepo, I get it, man. And I'm there at the practice. I see the things that he does. I love X on a personal basis. He's a cool guy to cover. He's a cool guy to watch play football. His teammates and his coaches clearly love him. I think that he is a useful player in the way that Mason Kinsey has been a useful player for this team for a very long time. I think that he's a better football player than Mason Kinsey is. But when we're talking about wide receiver 6, 7, or 8 on a team that has, for the first time in a long time, 5 receivers that are not just promising in terms of depth, but like 5 guys you're going to want on the field. Like Chimere Dike and Alec Ayaman it's not just that you're fine with them getting snaps on offense in any given game. You want them rotating in because they're good and they have upside, and you want them to continue to develop. There's just not any room for those guys barring injuries. And by those guys, I mean the guys like in Xavier Restrepo and in KJ Osborne's camp. As useful as I think they can be as actual receivers, it's just such diminishing returns if and until somebody gets hurt. And that's why I think we have to go against our inner demons and say, I get it. I know who looks better at receiver, but that's not the question we're trying to answer here with this position. Right. The question is who's actually going to impact special teams.
It's a good point. And it's also, too, Easton, why I think you and many others are buying so much Alec Ayaman stock, because when you talk about that depth and now Alec not having to be a day 3 draft pick going up against number 1 corners in his rookie season, but seeing some cornerback 3 and cornerback 4, you can make the argument of him having more yards on half the targets this upcoming season for the exact reason you just laid out, too.
Oh, I completely agree. And the thing about Alec that maybe I'm just dumb because I continue to parrot it and I'm not hearing other people say it. The way that this receiver room is built out from an archetype standpoint, from like a body type standpoint,
yes,
Alec continues to have an upper hand in the same way that Xavier Restrepo has the opposite of an upper hand, an uphill climb, I guess. Even if Alec, from a pure talent standpoint, is a clear 5 out of 5 of these top 5 guys, which I'm not certain of that personally. But let's say that he is. His physical ability and his build lend itself to a traditional X role in a lot of the plays in that playbook where you need that kind of, like, it's a required part of the construction of the play that these other guys just don't. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson is a better football player than Alec is, but he can't do the stuff that Alec can do. Neither can Calvin Ridley sometimes. Like, not everything about being your outside X receiver is always about how fast can you get down the field. And a lot of the X stuff I'm talking about, admittedly, is like sacrificial X stuff to make underneath plays work.
Right.
But you need that guy who can do that and can win against press, against big corners, and do these things that only bigger, taller guys can do. And Alec, it's really Alec and Carnell that are the guys that I see on this roster is like you have them pegged as that old school X receiver on the plays that need an old school X receiver. So it's going to give him more opportunities naturally, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Easton, we ain't even brought up Bryce Oliver.
And we are out of time.
Oh, no.
I know. Yeah, it's the beauty of where we are. Deep wide receiver room makes for a fun training camp. All right, Easton, I'll give you examples of our picks, everyday tasks that feel like sports. Our first-round draft picks, Justin said bringing in all the groceries in one trip. I had parallel parking, and Ramon had mopping as their our first round selections. What is the everyday tasks that you are good at that feel like a sport to you?
Well, first of all, the bringing in all the groceries in one run is such a classic answer, but it's such a good answer. So I love that. The first thing that came to mind for me is kind of specific. It's driving, but it's not just driving. It is chauffeuring. Oh, because I have a wife, I have a young child. We're blessed to be able to live really near both of our families, and so I'm doing a lot of driving around others and providing the driving Miss Daisy experience of a smooth ride is important to me, because as I am riding with them and constantly on my phone and working and stuff, it bothers me when they are bad at it. So it's very important to me to be a very good chauffeur.
I like it. I accept. Weaving through traffic was one of mine. I'm just getting point A to point B and it being efficient. But yeah, I accept that answer. It's a good one. Very good one. Easton Freeze, great job covering the Titans. And as always, one of our good friends here on the show. Thank you, Easton. Appreciate you.
Easton.
Talk to you guys soon.
Yes, sir. Easton Freeze with us here, making some great points, I think, about the roster gymnastics that will be played at the Vanderbilt Health Football Center.
Sure. You mentioned that wide receiver portion of what we just talked about. That's fascinating because just looking back at that Dubin conversation, like the floor has been raised. I don't know.
Jared Dubin, CBS
Jared Dubin,
piece,
CBS
if you missed
Sport.
it. Yeah.
We'll see how high that floor has been raised when the season starts.
I agree. I mean, I'm interested to see how high the floor and the ceiling is, because Cardell Tate is a ceiling-raising receiver, and in part, too, kind of raises your floor, because all of a sudden now Ellick, again, doesn't have to be covered by number one corners.
True.
Yeah. Good stuff. I like it. Ooh. Final call for phone calls, 615-737-1045. Some interesting reporting as U.S. soccer falls out of the World Cup around Christian Pulisic, a topic of some intense discussion. We got some more details on his injury he picked up, which I think changes the story a little bit that we'll talk about next. Wrapping up the show, Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. Tomorrow morning, Brent Hubbs and Ron Slay will stop by. First visit that we've had in a studio with both of us and Slay in, I believe, a month. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute, man.
It has been a minute.
Looking forward to the gang being back together, dog.
That is exactly right. Christian Pulisic, according to a report from The Athletic, suffered a bone bruise and microfracture of his tibia and fibula. And the United States has lost to Belgium. He'll be sidelined for several weeks, per sources. Paul Tenorio tweeting out, with Henry Bushnell and James Horncastle reporting. A lot of discussion around Christian this week. I know Carly Lloyd said what she had to say after the game on Fox. Landon Donovan has come out really criticizing the camp around Christian, his agents, the fact that he's not approachable. He's saying no to anything and everything. He won't talk to broadcasters before and after games. He's just kind of aloof and on his own. Taylor Twellman did a really good interview on Pardon My Take about it, and maybe brought up that the U.S. not making the World Cup in 2018 forever changed Christian and the national team, and it hurt him and just it made him not want to be the guy and maybe disappoint everyone to the level the U.S. did in 2018 when they didn't make the World Cup. Christian Pulisic's 27. This was kind of the moment. This was the pinnacle of his career, playing a home World Cup as the guy for his team. And I think maybe mentally and from a soccer perspective, he just isn't the guy. He's
Straight
not.
up.
His best moments at AC Milan are when he is the third option, not the option. He wore the number 10 at Chelsea, and it didn't last super long. Won the Champions League, but that wasn't really because of him.
Wearing the number 10?
The number 10 is kind of like...
It's like wearing 23.
Yeah, it'd be like wearing 23 in basketball, 100%. Wearing number 10.
Dang.
I don't know, man. Like, I love Christian.
But
I hate what we got from Christian this World Cup. It wasn't enough. I thought he totally ghosted in the Belgium game and just wasn't close to good enough. Had an amazing fall last year, and then after the Christmas break in Italy was just awful.
Yeah.
Did not have a goal or assist at the beginning of since 2025 for AC Milan, and he's expected to do a lot for that team. There's some stuff going on there, and I hope he gets it figured out, because even in 4 years, at 31 years old, he's still going to be one of the most important players that we take to the World Cup in Morocco and Portugal.
you know what I dislike about these moments? Not hate. I usually say hate in these moments. It's after the fact in a bad performance, we find an injury.
Well, I mean,
I'm not discrediting it.
It was the injury that made him be subbed off against Belgium, to be fair. Like, it's not this was not something he was carrying. This was something that happened against Belgium.
You know what
I
helps
think.
that?
I mean, I assume.
If he speaks to media.
I know.
And
Man, he speaks. He's just not like he won't. From what Landon Donovan said, it was more like when they're on the field doing stuff like off the record, like welcome back. Oh, what's up, guys? How's it going? Like, he's not approachable. Like, he'll do media, but he doesn't say anything of interest. And then off air and off the record, like, he's not giving them really anything to work.
So what call you said the 2018, U.S. not making it to FIFA. Not
and he was
qualifying.
young. I mean, he was a teenager, but he was already kind of the guy.
The motivation,
even at that point.
Yeah, but I'm with you. So I'm gonna just go to your final
You'd
point
have to
before
ask
you.
him.
I know, and I'm gonna just go to your final point that you made before even trying to understand him. He's just not fit for it.
He's not the guy.
Okay. And that's
he's not the guy.
That is all right if they go find him another dude. Some people are better.
Well, the
paired
problem
up.
is, I mean, there's only so many guys you can find who have American eligibility and American passports. And the two guys they have found, I mean, because you're right, Malik Tillman and Fuller and Balogun, the guys who also were the leading scorers of this World Cup for the United States.
But I'll say
German
this,
and British.
You're being very fair to him. I'm glad that you can say he's just not it.
He's not the guy.
Like, he's good.
And he's proven that, unfortunately.
But the guy sometimes he got to show.
4 years ago, I was saying he's already the best American player ever. Now, I think as much as he didn't show up at this World Cup, he's lost that statement as a declarative sentence and more as a conversation.
Understood.
Like, he's in the discussion still with Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan, but what those guys did over a longer period of time, their longevity now, and Christian's career is far from over. He's 27.
No doubt.
But for me, I mean, he did not live up to expectations.
With his club, he's good.
He was in the fall, but
Okay.
he didn't. He was not in the spring.
Okay.
Steve gets the final call on everyday tasks that feel like sports. What's up, Steve?
Well, I had to jump off. How you guys doing?
We're good,
First time I
man.
called
Good
in. You guys had already talked about, cutting the grass, getting all that, but I want to take it to a playoff level. Your wife tells you it's going to rain in an hour. You're like, I'm going to get this done. Watch me. You put on your Rocky soundtrack, your headset. You're going out, and you're going to get it all done, and you're going to weed eat and everything else in an hour. And then it goes, there's actually a team competition because we got guys on our street that are too good to cut their own grass, so they've got the lawn service come in. And it's like, 7:35, and they come in like an Ivy League school, all, not really. I mean, just not dressed to the nines, but they get on their mower, get on their blowers and weed eaters, and they knock it out. That's my team sport for cutting the grass. But when you got a certain amount of time to do it, or it's going to rain or get dark, it is playoff mode.
No doubt about it. I would say when you see the Ivy League schoolers, you said, come in the fall, and it's like 6 of them with big back blowers getting the leaves up, that's when you realize you're out of their league right
That's well
there.
done. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it, Steve.
Good stuff. Trying to make do with what you've got, and then you see the Monstars roll in next door, too.
Just see them, and all you hear is,
That's right.
and just leaves.
Stadium pulse goes up to 10 at that point.
Raking leaves is another one. You ever got a blister in the middle of your hand from raking leaves, man, from the point of the stick?
It's fair. If anyone needs me today, no, you don't.
Don't.
EA college football is out, so.
Oh, man, somebody call Pulisic soft batch cookies.
Oh, I'm fair. Very fair.
You do not defend. That's what I'm talking about, Will.
Back at it tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Brent Hubbs, Rod Slay. Hopefully you. We'll talk to you then.
But remember, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com.